7:20 p.m. Atlanta Braves taking the New York Mets. Braves on Sirius 132, XM 184 and Internet 841. Mets on Internet 857. 7:40 p.m. Kansas City Royals taking the Houston Astros. Royals on Sirius 209, XM 176 and Internet 851. Astros on Internet 850. 8:05 p.m. Texas Rangers face the Oakland A's. Rangers on Sirius 210, XM 177 and Internet 867. A's on Internet 859. Spanish feed on Sirius 211, XM 178 and Internet 871. I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM MLB schedule for Wednesday, April the 10th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In Major League Baseball, 1:10 p.m., Minnesota Twins take on the LA Dodgers. Twins on Sirius 208, XM 175 and Internet 856. Dodgers on Internet 853, Spanish broadcast on Internet 870. 1:15 p.m. St. Louis Cardinals take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Cardinals on Sirius 209, XM 176 and Internet 865. Phillies on Internet 860. 3:07 p.m. Toronto Blue Jays take on the Seattle Mariners. Blue Jays on Sirius 210, XM 177 and Internet 868. Mariners on Internet 864. 3:10 p.m. Colorado Rockies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Rockies on Sirius 211, XM 178 and Internet 848. Diamondbacks on Internet 840. 3:45 p.m. San Francisco Giants taking the Washington Nationals. Giants on Sirius 106, XM 179 and Internet 863. Nationals on Internet 869. 4:07 p.m. LA Angels taking the Tampa Bay Rays. Angels on Sirius 119, XM 180 and Internet 852. Rays on Internet 866. 6:10 p.m. Cleveland Guardians taking the Chicago White Sox. Guardians on Sirius 138, XM 181 and Internet 847. White Sox on Internet 845. 6:40 p.m. San Diego Padres taking the Chicago White Sox. Padres on Sirius 161, XM 183 and Internet 862. Cubs on Internet 844. 6:40 p.m. Cincinnati Reds take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Reds on Sirius 139, XM 182 and Internet 846. Brewers on Internet 855.
Sirius XM has soccer covered end to end. Sirius XM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's Sirius XM FC on Channel 157.
MLB Network radio host Xavier Scruggs believes Juan Soto of the New York Yankees is the perfect fit in the Yankee lineup.
Fans getting an opportunity to see Soto take at bats. These Yankees fans now that get to watch Soto on a daily basis will appreciate his ability to hone in on exactly what he's looking for. And that's ultimately the difference between him and every other player in the major leagues is he is so hyper-focused on not swinging at a pitch outside of his zone. He may give up 2 strikes in the at-bat, but he is going to wait for you to make that mistake, and he's going to make you pay, and he doesn't have to do it by hitting a home run. We saw it multiple times this weekend, being able to use the whole field. Yesterday against the game's best closer in Josh Hader, just taking that line drive the other way to plate the go-ahead run. The appreciation for what he's done to already kind of acclimate himself into this lineup, and we saw this in spring training too. Like he was already on his own power stroke, getting it going. He's done an amazing job. You think about how important that is too, with Judge not quite getting himself going yet. If they had this same situation last year with Judge struggling or Judge out of the lineup, you didn't know who was going to step up.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM MLB schedule for Wednesday, April the 10th. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In Major League Baseball, 1:10 p.m., Minnesota Twins take on the LA Dodgers. Twins on Sirius 208, XM 175, and Internet 856. Dodgers on Internet 853, Spanish broadcast on Internet 870. 1:15 p.m., St. Louis Cardinals take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Cardinals on Sirius 209, XM 176 and Internet 865. Phillies on Internet 860. 3:07 p.m. Toronto Blue Jays take on the Seattle Mariners. Blue Jays on Sirius 210, XM 177 and Internet 868. Mariners on Internet 864. 3:10 p.m. Colorado Rockies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Rockies on Sirius 211 XM 178 and Internet 848. Diamondbacks on Internet 840. 3:45 p.m. San Francisco Giants taking the Washington Nationals. Giants on Sirius 106 XM 179 and Internet 863. Nationals on Internet 869. 4:07.
Major League Baseball play-by-play is now on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Why do I love calling this game?
Calling this game.
Calling this game.
Calling this game.
Why do I love calling this game? It's because I get a chance to bring some joy into people's lives.
Anything can happen on a baseball field.
We've got a new game.
It's perfectly unscripted theater.
Everybody on their feet.
Because you never know what you're going to see on a given day.
It is bedlam at the bank as Bryce Harper has put the Phillies on top.
There's just something about baseball on the radio.
Something about the way wood hits leather.
A swing and a drive to deep left center.
The way leather hits dirt.
And he made the play. Oh, my.
The way a deep fly ball sounds like it's about to change history.
High fly ball to center field. It's hit pretty well toward the wall.
Until the cleats hit the grass, hit the crushed brick, and then nothing but sky and a silent crowd.
That ball's high.
Until leather hits leather and 40,000 fans lose their collective minds.
In a perfect symphony of chaos.
He jumped up on top of the wall, balanced himself, and caught it.
The way nothing triumphs a perfectly honest call.
I don't believe what I just saw.
And the way the right voice can make a moment live forever.
Touch 'em all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
Outsiders may think this is just two teams.
The ball, a bat, and a microphone. But no.
For over 100 years, this has been the soundtrack of the American pastime.
He struck it out looking. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series.
The soundtrack of summer. This is Major League Baseball on the radio.
Right now on SiriusXM.
All rise.
Coming in 5.
Get ready to play. 4.
Get up. Get up.
3.
Can you believe it?
Put your seatbelt on.
Wow.
My goodness.
Major League Baseball play-by-play is now on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM.
Let's go, man.
We're back on the track Sunday.
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400
From Texas Motor Speedway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Yeah.
Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yes.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, John Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio's Power Alley every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
I got all the confidence in the world in Joe Romano. I've known him for a long time. I know his demeanor. And I always say when you're talking about a closer giving up a couple runs in the ninth inning, it's just so much more magnified than a starting pitcher giving up a 2-run homer.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM 89 and the SXM app.
Hey, baseball fans, NBA Radio is your home for the best 24/7 hoops talk.
LeBron, 3 for the tie. It's good!
Hear nonstop talk from our experts every day and the best games every night as we get you ready for the playoffs and the quest to raise the Larry O'Brien Trophy.
After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets are finally NBA champions.
Don't miss a moment on SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86, in the car, and on the brand new SiriusXM app.
While you're listening to this game on SiriusXM, we're talking about the latest odds and prop bets for this and every game on Sports Grid Radio.
The under's minus 125. Heavy juice to the under.
Every home run hit and every strikeout thrown can change the line.
I can't for the life of me figure out how you can favor a team that never wins, ever.
If you're looking for sports talk centered around around the latest odds and prop bets for games, races, tournaments, or any sporting event. Sports Grid Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 159.
This is Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and host of the Sirius XM original podcast, Black Diamonds. Hear stories about the legends of the Negro Leagues and conversations with the all-time greats they've influenced, like 5-time World Series champion Derek Jeter.
I don't care what race you are. You need to know your past. This is U.S. history. It's not just baseball history.
Hear over 70 episodes of the award-winning Black Diamonds podcast, available now on the Sirius XM app or wherever you get your podcasts.
ACL Toronto. This
Slams the ball to right field. Way back. Way gone.
Is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second. The throw. In time.
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
A series sweep up for grabs after 5-2 and 5-3 wins on back-to-back nights at home. The Blue Jays have a shot to start the Rogers Center campaign in style on a Wednesday matinee in Toronto. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside the former Major League reliever Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer today with Tom Young and Derek Brandeo as our technical directors. Toronto Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Dieppe and Amherst, New Brunswick. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com, Canada's #1 rust protection. Starters Jose Barrios and Chris Bassett have dominated this series, each pitching into the 7th while combining to surrender just 1 run. Now hard-throwing lefty Yusei Kikuchi looks for the trifecta against the team that signed him to his first major league deal, the Seattle Mariners. Kikuchi versus Logan Gilbert next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming on the Sportsnet app, sportsnet.ca, and across the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to fixed-rate pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's building center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Massive news in the world of college basketball. John Calipari is leaving Kentucky.
When the sports world is talking, nobody gives you more perspectives than the experts of SiriusXM.
That is absolutely wild to me. Yeah, I was shocked.
Hear instant reaction on college sports radio.
This is about resources, and that's what the game is about now.
And expert analysis on SEC radio.
I don't know who doesn't win in this situation.
Live sports talk when you need it on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Hi, this is Alexa. Did you know you can listen to this game on devices with Amazon Alexa? Download the SiriusXM app, then tell me to play the Blue Jays on SiriusXM
Radio Network.
Into the wind at the last second. His 0-2 again. Swing and a miss. Beat him with the splitter. 8 Ks today for Chris Bassett.
His outing was great. He was in kind of total command, and he wanted to get through that inning. That was about as far as we wanted to go with him in terms of pitches. But, I mean, his stuff today, executed it really well, whether it was fastball, cutter, split, mixed in the curveball and sweeper too, but just trying to get him through that. Chris is, a veteran guy, and we're always in touch with him, seeing how he's feeling too as the game goes, and he definitely wanted to finish that inning. Kind of just ran out of pitches.
115 pitches for Chris Bassitt to be exact. That 115 number, the most thrown by any pitcher this season. Chris Bassitt went 6 2/3 to help the Blue Jays win the series yesterday with a 5-3 win, but they're not done against Seattle. Game 3 coming up in just a few minutes. Yusei Kikuchi about to take the bump for the Blue Jays. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Thanks so much for joining us today. Chris Kikuchi really dominant in his last start, 5 1/3 scoreless against the mighty New York Yankees.
Well, don't get me started on my opinion about Chris Bassitt going out for the 7th inning after throwing 101 pitches through 6. I won't talk about that right now. But Yusei Kikuchi has been so dominant over the last year, it seems like. He was so good last year. And even his first start, that was a little shaky. He had 3 walks, gave up 6 hits and 3 earned runs. Yusei Kikuchi is only as good as his fastball command. So if he can throw that fastball early in counts, throw it for strikes, down in the zone, he can use his secondary pitches. He's just so good that if he throws strikes with that fastball, he can get anybody out.
Before Kikuchi gets going, he's about to take his warm-up pitches. Let's take a look at the Bet365 standings. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19+, play responsibly. Ontario only. New York Yankees lead the AL East going into today at 10-2. Boston Red Sox second at 7-4. The Orioles 6-4 just behind them. And then Toronto and Tampa Bay tied at 6-6 for 4th place in the division. Seattle Mariners to hit first today. Chris, who's in the lineup for the visitors?
For the Seattle Mariners, leading off and playing short is J.P. Crawford. Julio Rodriguez is in center field. He'll bat second. Ty France is at first base. He'll bat third. In right field, batting 4th is Mitch Haniger. Batting 5th and playing third base is Jorge Polanco. Mitch Garver will DH and bat 6th. Catching is Cal Raleigh. He'll hit 7th. Dylan Moore is in left field, batting 8th. And hitting 9th and playing third base is Luis Urias. On the mound for the Mariners is righty Logan Gilbert. For the Blue Jays, leading off and playing right field is George Springer. DHing and batting second is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Hitting third is Bo Bichette. He'll play shortstop. At first base, cleaning up is Justin Turner. Kevin Biggio will bat 5th and play second base. Behind the dish, surprisingly, is Alejandro Kirk. He'll bat 6th. Batting 7th and playing center field is Kevin Kiermaier. Ernie Clement is at third, and he'll bat 8th. And batting 9th is Dalton Varsho. He'll play in left field. Pitching for the Blue Jays is Yusei Kikuchi.
Alejandro Kirk just threw down to second, about to make his 11th start behind the plate in 13 games this year. Here's the leadoff hitter for the Mariners, J.P. Crawford. Bats from the left side. Kikuchi, a southpaw, getting ready to go. Fires the first pitch, and it's hit foul down the left field line. 0-1. Catch down in the stands there, made with the bare hand. It's a work from Dome Day. 3:07, the time of the first pitch, indoor today at Rogers Center. The 0-1. Ground ball pounded to first. There's Justin Turner making the play. Flips it back to Kikuchi. 1 out. This first inning is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Kikuchi retires the left-handed hitter J.P. Crawford. Now he'll face 8 straight guys batting from the right side, including 2 switch hitters in there. Julio Rodriguez, a true right-handed hitter, gets ready to go. Yusei Kikuchi just getting settled a little bit behind the rubber. Steps on. Left-hander kicks and fires. First pitch foul, 0-1. Just heard Kirk behind the plate and Turner at first. It's Kevin Biggio at second with Bo Bichette at short. Ernie Clement's the third baseman. Dalton Varsho in left. Kevin Kiermaier in center. George Springer in right. 0-1. In the dirt, Rodriguez lays off. Appeal down to first on the check swing. No swing. Rodriguez with 2 practice cuts. Twirls the bat, ready to go in the box. The 1-1. Fouled off left side, 1-2. Early on there, seeing the curveball from Yusei Kikuchi.
Yeah, these are the kind of at-bats that you say Kikuchi needs. Just pound the bottom of the zone with the fastball, and then you can flip the curveball, flip the slider in there.
Top of the first inning, scoreless game. 1 out, bases empty. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Slider low of the zone. Rodriguez swings over it, 2 down.
Yeah, you can see just how frustrated Julio Rodriguez is. That's a great pitch, a back foot slider that Kikuchi is so good at throwing. Slips right underneath Julio's bat.
So here's Ty France with 2 outs. Nobody on for the Mariners. The pitch. Hit foul, 0-1. France in the midst of a 7-game hit streak, which was interrupted by him going on the paternity list, but he's picked right back up where he left off. Hits in each of the 2 games here in Toronto. 0-1. Down and away. Balls and strikes today being called by Ben May. Adam Beck umpiring first. The crew chief, C.B. Buckner, at second, with Brock Ballou at third. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Way out in front of that curveball by Kikuchi. It's 1-2.
He'll probably go back to that back foot slider, but I would love to establish that fastball up and in. You have to do that early as a starter.
Kirk sets up inside and low. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Did go to the back foot slider. Strikes out France. Strikes out a pair this inning and sets down the Mariners 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Middle of the first inning, no score, Toronto and Seattle. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to Fixed Rate Pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
We was waiting for.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Bottom of the first inning, no score, Blue Jays and Mariners, game 3 of the series. Righty Logan Gilbert facing to the side, now steps to his left and deals to George Springer, who swings at the first pitch, grounds it to third. Picked up by Luis Urias, stops, throws over to first. 1 out. Third start of the season for the righty Gilbert, 26 years old. 4th major league season, and 2 starts this year, a 3.55 ERA. A really good one at home against the Red Sox to start his year, and then a bit of an up-and-down start on the road against Milwaukee. His pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Called strike 1.
And Logan Gilbert is another one of those righties in the Seattle Mariners rotation that has really good velocity and really good command. He only walked 36 guys in almost 191 innings last year.
0-1 is lined to center field. Rodriguez freezes, now steps in and makes the catch. 2 down. For Gilbert, he leads with his fastball that averaged 96 last year, but he'll use the slider a lot. He's got a splitter and a curveball. Two down. Here's Bo Bichette. Nobody on. No score. Bottom of the first. Bichette raising up the heel on his front left foot, standing just on the toe. The first pitch. Called strike.
Good downward action on that fastball at 97. That pitch right there is unhittable.
Gilbert's been really impressive really throughout his professional career so far. The 0-1. Bounced. Good pick on the backhand side by Cal Raleigh. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 6'6 right-hander was a first-round pick by the Orioles out of Stetson in 2018. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. If you didn't learn Stetson from their March Madness appearance this year, school in Florida. Debuted with Seattle in 2021 and really broke through in 22. 1-2 pitch. Bounce to the plate again.
Yeah, Stetson's not a school that you would know a lot about, but they have a very, very good baseball program. I think it's near Orlando, isn't it?
I believe
Central
you're
Florida.
correct. It is Central Florida. DeLand, Florida. The 2-2. Bichette hits a soft fly ball to right. Haniger was going back, now turns in toward the line and makes the catch overhead to end the inning. So Gilbert matches Kikuchi with a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, and we'll head to the second inning in a scoreless ball game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Feel the energy, blast the loud bang, and the impact of SiriusXM Octane.
Immerse yourself in a community of hard rock extremists.
World premieres,
Live performances.
and artist takeovers.
A giant thank you to the entire Octane community for keeping rock alive.
Turn up new hard rock.
Turn up Octane.
Channel 37 and on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
It's a home run for Ronald Acuna.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to daily fantasy basketball to getting you ready for the NFL Draft, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
How you manage your team day in and day out will be the difference in where you finish in 2024.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
There is no competition in soccer quite like the UEFA Champions League. And it's on SiriusXM FC.
Kylian Mbappe delivering when it matters most.
The stakes are higher now in the knockout stage, where one goal can transform a club's trajectory.
Jude Bellingham's driving scores!
And one performance can turn a star into an immortal.
Erling Haaland has 5!
It's the Champions League knockout stage, and all the top matches are on SiriusXM FC 157 and the all-new SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Radio Network.
Mitch Haniger made the catch to end the bottom of the first. Now he'll lead off the top of the second for Seattle in Toronto. Blue Jays and Mariners in Game 3 of the series. No score. Kikuchi's pitch is a little bit outside. Ball 1.
Kikuchi kind of threw his hands up in the air there. He thought that ball was a strike, but it was outside from up here.
That's Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman, the 1-0. That one a little bit low. Kikuchi not super happy with it either, but a near miss. It's 2-0. Haniger hit a 2-run homer in yesterday's game. He's had an impressive start to the year. 2-0. Fastball for called strike 1. 2 doubles and 2 homers, 6 driven in for Haniger, who sports an on-base plus slugging of .823. The 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Blue Jays infield playing Haniger to the pull side. Kevin Biggio, the second baseman, up the middle. Outfield playing a little bit the opposite way. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk issued to Haniger here to start the second inning, which is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1 on, nobody out. Jorge Polanco up. Switch hitter Polanco bats from the right side for the first time this series. The pitch fouled off the front fence of the Mariners dugout. Tons of heads ducking out of the way, guys leaning back, but it hit the railing and bounced back into the field of play.
Yeah, that's the second time that we've seen that this series. That they should put a net over there.
Nah.
Honestly, they should put a net in front of the dugouts.
They're not going to do that.
No, they won't, but...
The 0-1, high and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yusei Kikuchi just threw 4 breaking balls to Mitch Haniger. For a guy that throws in the upper 90s as a left-handed pitcher, he just threw 4 breaking balls. He needs to throw that fastball down in the zone, establish it, and then he can start throwing those breaking balls.
Haniger on first, the 1-1 to Polanco is a fastball fouled off, 1-2. In his career, Polanco's been fairly even batting from the left side and the right side. Exact same average at .268, but more power as a left-handed hitter than a right-handed hitter. He bats right now. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Kikuchi. No, he's going to step and throw over to first. Turner applies a tag. Haniger back standing. Kikuchi peeking at first base, delivers home. Fouled into the screen.
He's thrown some very good fastballs today, down in the zone, good action to them. The Mariners haven't squared up that fastball yet. He just gets slider happy, curveball happy.
It's been a little bit scattered so far. 12 strikes, 7 balls for Kikuchi. Walked Haniger, who's on first. His 1-2. Down and in. A good slider there to the back foot at 92, but Polanco wouldn't go after it. It's a little extra zip on the slider for Kikuchi, not usually touching 92 or 93. 2-2 pitch. Hit softly to first. Backhanded by Turner. He'll throw over to Bichette, and that'll be the only out they get. Bichette was a little late getting to second, and no one was there to get to first. Kikuchi running over, but he wouldn't get there in time, and Turner didn't have enough time after waiting for the throw to get back to the bag. So it's a 3-6 put out, a fielder's choice, and Polanco replaces Haniger at first.
Yeah, that was actually a difficult play all the way around. Tough pickup by Justin Turner, and as he turned, keep in mind he's a right-handed thrower, so Mitch Haniger was right in his line, so he kind of double pumped and had to wait for Bo to get to the bag, but a tough play overall.
So with 1 out now, here comes Mitch Garver. Part of the Texas Rangers last year when they went to the World Series. Played for the Twins and the Rangers for multiple years. The pitch. Called strike 1. Injuries mostly have robbed Haniger of being able to play full seasons. Was a catcher for a while and can still catch, but DHs mostly and plays most days for Seattle. The 0-1. Breaking ball down. Last year, though, in only 87 games, he hit 19 home runs and drove in 50 runs. Hit 3 homers in the playoffs during the World Series run as well. Was really important for the Rangers. He's batting from the right side with a 2-tone bat. Light barrel, dark handle. Throw over to first by Kikuchi. Just lobbed it there. Polanco got back easily.
I can't remember the last time Kikuchi didn't lob it on a pickoff attempt at first base.
I don't think he's really intending to throw guys out as much as just resetting the clock and staying in the minds of some of these runners. 1-1. Fouled off. Maniac to the third base coach for the Mariners gets out of the way. He is alongside Christopher Negron as the first base coach for the Mariners. 1 ball and 2 strikes now with 1 out and a runner on first. No score, top of the second. Lots of room on the right side. Biggio, the second baseman, playing up the middle. Turner holding on the runner at first to step off the line. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Dropped in that changeup he's been working on and got the right-handed hitting Garver to chase. 2 outs.
Yeah, really good pitch from Yusei Kikuchi. Looks like a fastball out of the hands. Really good arm speed, fastball arm speed, and then kind of just fades away, down and away, and Mitch Garver has a tough time. making contact.
He throws it with that circle change grip where his pointer finger and his thumb come together and gets a lot of movement to his arm side off to the left. 2 outs, the pitch to Cal Raleigh, called strike 1. Jorge Polanco still on first, and still no score in the top of the second. Raleigh, the other switch hitter in the lineup besides Polanco, batting from the right side. Kikuchi staring at Polanco at first, delivers home. Outside. Somewhat similar story with Polanco and Raleigh. The average isn't that different, batting from the left side and batting from the right side, only separated by 4 points. But the slugging percentage drastically different for Cal Raleigh. Kikuchi's going to lob one over to first, backstanding Polanco. Obviously, Raleigh has hit as a lefty more than as a righty because he's just facing more right-handed pitching. But he's hit 53 homers as a lefty, 7 as a righty in his career. The 1-1. Fouled over the screen and into the second deck, 1-2.
I'd love to see an elevated fastball here. I won't see it, though. It'll be that back foot slider.
You never know, but I kind of think he goes back foot slider and then adjusts if they lay off of it. Does have 2 strikeouts on sliders today. Most recently struck out Garver with the changeup. 1-2. Swing and a miss. It was a fastball on the outside edge. He gets Raleigh to get up to 4 strikeouts in 2 innings and strands that leadoff walk. No score, middle of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
Truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2-minute truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2-minute truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks. So give us a call today.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Sundays are for Junior Jays, and with all kinds of cool new games and activities in the exciting outfield district areas, there's no end to the family fun you'll have.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Sprinting back, Varsho curling at the track. He leaps, and he made the catch!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Turner, Cabin Biggio, and Alejandro Kirk to hit in the bottom of the second inning. 0-0, Mariners and Blue Jays. Game 3 in Toronto. Blue Jays looking for a sweep. Logan Gilbert back on the mound. And the right-hander gets into the wind. The pitch. Called strike 1. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Gilbert's got kind of a funky thing where he separates the ball from his glove and then puts it back in the middle of his windup. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It's clearly worked for him, though. Former Atlantic Sun Conference Pitcher of the Year in 2018 for the Stetson Hatters. 14th overall pick that year. 0-2. High, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
What is a Hatter?
It's a good question. Let me get back to you on that. Before I do, I'll mention you had talked about some good guys coming out of there. Jacob deGrom played for Stetson. So did Corey Kluber. So you got a lot of Cy Youngs between those two. 1-2 pitch. Bounced.
Some good pitchers. No position players?
None of that caliber, I have to say. Next pitch, cut on and missed. Turner goes down. Strike 3, first K of the day for Logan Gilbert. Blew the fastball by him at 97.
Yeah, Logan Gilbert has that really good fastball, but he's also, just like you mentioned, he's funky. He kind of taps his glove, takes the ball out, then puts it back in. It's probably hard to pick up that ball as it's coming out of his hand.
Here's left-handed hitting Cavan Biggio out of Notre Dame. The first pitch. Called strike 1. So a Hatter, as in the Stetson Hatters, John B. Stetson, who was intimately related to the university, was a hat maker himself. So that's where it comes from. 0-1, swing and a miss by Biggio, nothing in 2, and Gilbert looks really in control here early on in the game. Right-hander steps to the side, kicks and delivers. Missed a little bit low on the splitter. Biggio laid off, appeal to third. No swing, says Brock Ballou. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Early on, Logan Gilbert is doing a really nice job of elevating the fastball and then throwing that changeup and that slider down in the zone. He did that there to Cavan Biggio, but Cavan Biggio laid off.
His 1-2. Biggio just pokes an off-speed pitch, another splitter, down the third baseline, foul. You kind of see in real time Biggio start his swing and slow it down as he pushed it out to the left.
Well, we've seen Justin Turner do that a lot this season, kind of just flick the barrel out, try to foul a ball off. Cavan Biggio did that right there.
Ready to go again. The pitch. Biggio lofts the ball to shallow center. Rodriguez charging, and it's down in front of him, a base hit. It'll be picked up in left, actually, or in left center by Dylan Moore. It's another base hit for Cavan Biggio, who extends his hitting streak to 6 games.
That was another a good elevated fastball by Logan Gilbert. It was actually mishit by Cavan Biggio. Got in on the hands of Cavan Biggio, and he kind of just muscled it out to left center there. Good job by Biggio.
Here's Alejandro Kirk with 1 out. Gilbert from the stretch for the first time today. Peeks at Biggio and pitches to Kirk. Outside, ball 1. Mentioned it yesterday, but John Schneider talked yesterday about the swing change that Cavan Biggio made, just changing the bat path a little bit, and that's a pitch up or even above the zone that he might not have made contact with early last year. Now he flicks it to left. 1-0. Bounced up the middle. This could be 2. Fielded by the second baseman, Polanco. Steps on the bag, throws to first, and that will end the inning. 4-3 double play erases Biggio and Kirk and sends us to the third. No score. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
He doesn't throw fastballs. He throws fuego. He has the focus and agility of a Shaolin monk. He's not just a pitcher. He's a machine. He defends the field and our city's honor.
He is one of the best defensively out of the mound.
Jose Barrios is as good as gold. Celebrate Jose's golden accomplishment with the Jose Barrios Gold Glove Bobblehead. Friday, April 12th. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to fixed-rate pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit ConnexOntario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Bases loaded. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Dieppe and Amherst, New Brunswick. Protect your vehicle from rust today. Find your local family-owned Crown at crown.com. Canada's #1 rush protection. Road half of the third, scoreless ball game. Blue Jays and Mariners. Yusei Kikuchi back on the bump. He gets 8-9-1 this inning, starting with Dylan Moore. First start of this series for the right-handed hitting outfielder. Slightly open in his stance, twitching his front foot. The pitch from Kikuchi zips in there, strike one.
That's the kind of first pitch I want to see. A fastball on the inside part of the plate. That thing was 95 miles an hour. Dylan Moore was very uncomfortable right there.
0-1 to Moore. Called strike two, 96 on the outside edge. And it does look like the confidence with the fastball is increasing for Kikuchi.
Pete Walker probably said, stop flipping breaking balls in there.
Moore's going to ask for time and kick some dirt back in the box quickly. And he taps his right foot with the barrel of his bat to knock the dirt out of his cleats. Back in the box and ready to go. Kikuchi looks down, now looks toward Kirk. 0-2. Bounced, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luis Urias on deck, and then it'll be second time through with J.P. Crawford hitting for the Mariners. Kikuchi twists and deals. High fastball, ball 2.
Yeah, Kirk was set up on the inside part of the plate with that target. It was supposed to be a fastball up and in at the hands. He kind of let that thing go a little bit too early, and it was arm side high. Good try, though.
Kikuchi didn't like the grip of that ball, so he tosses it back to the third base dugout, and gets a new one. His 2-2. Back foot slider laid off by Moore, who continues to kick his barrel, dirtying up those white cleats. He steps back into the box now with a full count.
That was another hard slider at 92 miles an hour.
It's got some extra zip today. Payoff pitch in the dirt, ball 4. Couldn't get him to chase the curve. Proceeds from Jays Care's ongoing amazing April 50-50 jackpot support programs like Girls at Bat. The jackpot is already over $850,000, and there are still more than 30 early bird prizes to be won. If you're in Ontario or Nova Scotia, visit bluejays.com/5050 to get your tickets. Leadoff walk for the second straight inning for Kikuchi. His pitch to Luis Urias. Called strike 1. Yusei worked out of it last time with a fielder's choice and 2 strikeouts, but not a great omen to walk the leadoff hitter twice. It's a scoreless game, top of the third. The 0-1, runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw down to second, tails a little bit to the right. Biggio jumped to rein it in, but that's a stolen base for Dylan Moore, his second of the season in 3 tries.
Yeah, Dylan Moore was clearly going first move there. He got a great jump. Alejandro Kirk really had no chance to throw him out. Not a good throw, but a good play from Cavan Biggio, stopping that ball from going into center field.
Looked like the ball kind of popped up a little bit on Kirk on the transfer. It was in the top of his hand. So now a runner in scoring position for the first time today for either team, and it's with nobody out. Urias tasked with advancing the runner with 2 strikes on him. Kikuchi is set. Looks back at second and delivers. Fastball, called strike 3. 97 on the inside part of the plate. 5 strikeouts already for Yusei Kikuchi with 1 down in the third.
Yeah, Urias was absolutely frozen on that pitch. A great fastball, almost on the black on the inside part of that plate at 97. You'd see the frustration on Urias' face. No chance at that pitch.
Time called. Dylan Moore is jogging back toward the dugout. I think he's looking at the side of his left hand right now. He might have cut himself sliding head first. They're giving him some sort of pressure right now with a towel on part of his elbow. More with a head first slide into the back.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to wrap that thing up. Actually, they didn't wrap it up. He's coming back on the field.
Just pressed it for a couple seconds. Moore jogging back out. And J.P. Crawford about to get set. Crawford grounded out to first base. Turner flipped back to Kikuchi in the first at-bat of this game. Runner on second, 1 out, no score, top of the third, Blue Jays and Mariners. Left on left pitch. Strike one with the heater. That's right down the middle, but at 96, still tough to hit.
You can clearly see a difference. This inning, he's establishing that fastball early, and he's having a ton more success. Minus the leadoff walk.
Did walk the leadoff hitter on a 3-2 count, then a strikeout. Next pitch to Crawford. Inside with the heater. Crawford jolts out of the way, 1-1.
And even though he missed his spot by about a foot there, it's still an effective pitch because now J.P. Crawford thinks that he is coming inside at some point in this at-bat.
Infield plays back. Bichette, the shortstop, is watching the runner at second. Bangs his glove twice. Now backs up. Kikuchi delivering the 1-1. It's fouled off into the screen, 1-2.
Now J.P. Crawford's thinking, is he coming in again? Is he going away with that slider? It opens up all kinds of different pitches.
Fans trying to clap Kikuchi to a 6th strikeout already. 1 down, top of the third. Runner on second, and Kikuchi's going to step off and just make the motion of throwing over, but not actually release the ball. That's his first disengagement of the plate appearance. Lefty's ready to go now. A peek at second. His 1-2. Line to right field. Springer charging in. It's down in front of him. A base hit. Moore getting the wave. Springer's throw to the plate. Bounces through, but it's late. And an RBI single for J.P. Crawford makes it 1-0 Seattle in the top of the third.
And that was a fastball from Kikuchi right on the hands of J.P. Crawford. He just does a good job of muscling it out to right field. Good pitch. That's a tough break for Yusei Kikuchi.
Looped into right, took a high hop that Springer fielded kind of right beside his head. Decent throw, but Moore got a great read on the ball and was basically sprinting on contact. So he comes in to score. First time the Mariners have opened the scoring in this series. 1-0 Seattle, 1 out, runner on first. Julio Rodriguez to the plate, the pitch. Ground ball foul, 0-1. Rodriguez started this series 0 for 6, but came up with a hit and a walk yesterday in his last 2 plate appearances. Still, though, just 1 for 7 in the series. Struck out swinging in the first. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Out of his shoes on that off-speed pitch. And it's 1-2. Make that an 0-2 count with the runner on first.
There's a big hole on the right side of this infield. Justin Turner holding on J.P. Crawford at first base, and Calvin Biggio is pretty close to second base.
Time called behind the plate by home plate umpire Ben May. I believe Rodriguez asked for it, but May circled around the plate and talked to him face-to-face about something before starting play once again. Kikuchi's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on the slider low once again, 2 outs.
Yeah, really good. Another really good back foot slider from Yusei Kikuchi. That's kind of been his bread and butter in today's game. Julio Rodriguez swings right over that thing. Really tight break on that 91-mile-an-hour slider.
1-0 Mariners, though. 2 outs. Ty France to the plate, who struck out on that same slider back in the first. France, a 34th rounder by San Diego out of San Diego State way back when. Throw over to first. Crawford back easily.
And there is no such thing as a 34th round anymore.
Guy with great contact skills, though. The first pitch, outside ball 1. Perhaps the reason why Ty France has been prolific as a contact hitter at times in his career. At San Diego State, he was coached by the great Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn. 1-0. Slap foul right side, 1-1.
To kind of put things in perspective, Ty France was pick number 1,017. That's a lot of picks.
That is a lot of picks. So we're talking 33 rounds and compensation picks. But if you do enough, you'll make your way there. He certainly did. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. France making the All-Star game in 2022. One nothing Mariners, top of the third. Runner on first, 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Here's Kikuchi to France. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Low slider gets him again. 7 Ks through 3 innings for Yusei Kikuchi, but the leadoff walk burns him as J.P. Crawford singles home Dylan Moore to make it 1-0 middle of 3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.ca/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.ca/free. That's ziprecruiter.ca/free. ziprecruiter.ca/free.
Vehicle thefts are increasing at an alarming rate. Superior Door and Gate Systems can provide a complete turnkey state-of-the-art security solution to ensure that your property is protected. Superior Door and Gate Systems are a local Canadian-owned company specializing in installation of protective bollards for residential, commercial, and industrial properties. This can prevent thieves from stealing your vehicle or merchandise. The cost of security can only be measured by what it will save. Book your free estimate at superiorbollards.ca.
I put my heart on my list. I gave it all I could give.
This is Kevin Biggio, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the third, 1-0 Seattle over the Blue Jays. Kevin Kiermaier leads off against Logan Gilbert, Mariners' right-handed starter. Kiermaier bats from the left. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 over top of the slider. Kiermaier, Ernie Clement, Dalton Varsho due up this inning. 7-8-9 for the Blue Jays. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. That time the cut fastball getting by Kiermaier.
This is the part of the lineup where I would love to see something manufactured. A guy gets on base, stolen base, bunt a guy over, hit and run, all those good things.
0-2 is in the dirt. Check swing, appeal to third, no swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blue Jays have started running more in this series, certainly, than they did in the first 10 games. Only stole 1 base, only tried 1 in the first 10 games of the season. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kiermaier tied up by a slider, 1 down. In this series, the Blue Jays have stolen 4 bases in the previous 2 games. Springer has 1, Kiermaier has 1, Kiner Falefa has 1, and Biggio has 1. Ernie Clement steps into the right side. 1 out, base is empty. The pitch from Gilbert. Outside, ball 1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Home plate is home plans. Score the run with Timbermart.ca. Find a major league selection of winning plays for house, garage, and backyard sheds. Visit Timbermart.ca and win the game with Canada's Building Center. Next pitch is a called strike, 1-1. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left, Chris LaRue.
It's really nice to see Ernie Clement actually in the lineup today. He was drilled in the rib cage last night, late in that ball game, coming off the bench.
1-1. Hit hard on the ground to short. Picked up by Crawford, who will sling it to first. 2 down. John Schneider talked about that today pregame. And he said, yeah, you don't see Ernie go down too often, so they were a little bit worried, but said he was pretty funny. He walked up to Ernie, and Ernie said, I'm fine, I just can't breathe right now. Other than that, I'm good. But Clement back in there today. He grounds out. 2 quick outs for Logan Gilbert. Nobody on. 1-0 Seattle. Bottom 3. The pitch to Dalton Varsho, left-handed hitter. Fouled back into the netting. 0-1. Back-to-back starts for Varsho, who has played in every Blue Jays game this year in some form. Played center field yesterday, in left field today. The 0-1. Hit hard on the ground to first. Bobbled for a moment by France. Picks it up from between his feet and flips it to Gilbert for a 1-2-3 bottom of the third. Blue Jays still being blanked. It's 1-0 Mariners going to the 4th inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
They are among the greatest to ever play their sports.
Caitlin Clark is the all-time scoring leader.
They are legends and icons.
Larry Bird hit the shot with no second thought. I don't know how he did it.
And you can hear them right now on the all-new Sirius XM app.
We are here with Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark.
I'm so focused on winning. It's never anything I ever take for granted.
Here comes Larry Bird, the Hall of Famer, and he just won Legend of the Year.
Legend of the Year, isn't that something?
For access to the game's greats, rely on the leader in sports audio. Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your Sirius XM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on Sirius XM Channel 89, or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. Sirius XM Sports. We're more than just a game.
The Busted Open podcast is now available on YouTube. This is Dave LaGreca, host of Busted Open, the #1 pro wrestling show on the planet. You can now watch and listen to the award-winning Busted Open podcast every single day on YouTube. Our best interviews, behind-the-scenes access, and some of our best content from the past. All available right now when you go to youtube.com/@BustedOpenPodcast. Subscribe right now.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on Sirius XM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Network.
The 4th inning is presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet live in-game on game props, totals, and the money line. Download the app to find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Yusei Kikuchi's first pitch of the inning is down and inside to Mitch Haniger, 1-0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. 1-0 Seattle over Toronto, road half of the 4th. Kikuchi's next offering is in there at the knees, strike 1. We'll take a look at some of the out-of-town scores and news coming up after Haniger's plate appearance. 1-1. Foul tipped back off Kirk's shin pads, or shin guards. It's 1-2. Haniger, Jorge Polanco, Mitch Garver due up for the Mariners. Garver with a walk and 1 plate appearance today. 1-2 pitch. Just a little bit low. Couldn't get him to chase the change. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Solid first 3 innings for Kikuchi. 7 strikeouts and only 1 hit allowed, but he's walked the leadoff hitter each of the last 2 innings. That burned him in the 3rd. His next pitch. Called strike 3. Fastball at the knees. 8th K of the day for Kikuchi. We're just in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and you can see just how confused those Mariners hitters are. They're expecting something off speed, especially with 2 strikes. And Kikuchi's so good at just zipping that fastball right in there.
So he gets 1 quick out, bases empty, 1-0 Mariners over Blue Jays, top of the 4th. Here's Jorge Polanco. Fielder's choice ground out in the 2nd, the pitch. High ball 1. The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Devilishly good since Toronto first raised the trophy in '92. Join them for wings, ribs, beer, cocktails, and catch every play at your local St. Louis Bar and Grill. Download the app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. 1-0 is high, 2-0. One other game of AL East action about to get started. The 2-0. Grounded softly to third. To his left, Clement picks it up. Hard throw over to first. 2 outs. Tampa Bay visiting the Los Angeles Angels for the third game of that series, a rubber match. Zach Littell pitches for the Rays. He's off to a great start this year, an ERA below 1. Jose Soriano starts on the other side for the Angels. 1-0 Mariners over Blue Jays. Mitch Garver up with 2 outs and the bases empty. Out-of-town scores again brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. The pitch, low ball 1. Biggest news today, though, on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Jackson Holliday will make his Major League debut today with the Orioles visiting the Red Sox. The 1-0. High, ball 2. Few places that have to be cooler, I think, than making your Major League debut at Fenway Park. Davis Schneider did it, hit a home run off James Paxton to start his Major League career.
And what about wearing your dad's number?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool. The 2-0. Called strike, 2-1.
I think people forget that Matt Holliday was an absolute stud.
Oh,
he was a beast for a long time.
Really good player. If Jackson turned into Matt, that would be a big success. The 2-1. Breaking ball for strike 2. Matt Holliday was a 7-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, won the World Series in 2011 with the Cardinals, and was the NLCS MVP that year. Lifetime .299 hitter. The 2-2. Fouled off the front foot by Garver. That rolls all the way to the on-deck circle, where Raleigh stops it with his right foot and kind of polos it over to the dugout as he swings his bat back and forth in like a golf putter polo swing. Garver back in the box. Bases empty, 2 outs, 2-2 count, top of the 4th. The pitch. Inside, ball 3. We saw Jackson Holliday in spring hit a grand slam off of Yusei Kikuchi. Hit 2 home runs at TD Ballpark in the spring. 3-2. Hit hard up the middle on the ground and rolling into center field, a base hit. Garver jogs to first base and stops there. Second hit of the day for the Mariners, and they have a base runner aboard here with 2 down and Cal Raleigh coming up.
Yeah, I remember when I was with the Pirates, and Matt Holliday used to play left field with the Cardinals, and the bullpen at Busch Stadium is the visiting bullpen at Busch Stadium is right behind left field. And we got into it with the Cardinals. The bullpen was chirping back and yelling at the Cardinals players, and Matt Holliday looked at us, me specifically, and he told us to, quiet down.
Yeah.
Maybe not exactly with those words.
First pitch, strike to Cal Raleigh, 0-1. Runner on first, 2 down.
And we immediately stopped chirping. He was always just an intimidating figure, a huge guy. He had that bald head, of course, at least later in his career.
Yeah.
He was a guy that you didn't want to mess with, that's for sure.
The 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, when I was calling games in the Cape Cod Baseball League with the Chatham Anglers, Jackson's grandfather, Matt's dad, Tom Holliday, was the manager. And I would say that umpires were a little bit frightened of him, too, at times. The 1-1. Low, 2-1.
He's at Oklahoma State, right?
He was for a long time. Josh Holliday, Jackson's uncle and Matt's brother, is now the head coach of the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Tom Holliday, for a long time, was the pitching coach there. I think if Jackson wasn't as supremely talented and primed to be, number 1 overall pick out of high school as he was, he probably would have ended up on Oklahoma State. The 2-1. Popped up, middle of the infield. Bichette, the shortstop, making a long run, called off by Turner, who sprints at the last second to his right and makes the catch in front of second base to end the inning. The 2-out hit stranded, but the Mariners still lead 1-0 middle of the fourth. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to fixed-rate pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com. At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we introduced in-game betting. Because when the game starts, the action doesn't stop. With in-game betting, you can wager on game props, player props, totals, and the money line. And remember, in-game, you can track your same-day parlay with the option to cash out. Check out in-game betting and find out why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Must be 19 years or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connexontario.ca.
Hey, this is Danny Jansen. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, Show Ali, our host and producer today, Derek Brandeo and Tom Young, our technical directors. 1-0 Mariners. Top of the order for the Blue Jays. Logan Gilbert deals to George Springer. High ball one. Gilbert has stifled the Blue Jays so far, faced the minimum first time through the order. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Springer late on that slider. 1-1. Blue Jays did have one hit first time through. Kevin Biggio with a single in the second, but that was immediately erased by a double play. The 1-1. Springer takes up and in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Really nice day for George yesterday. 2 hits, both of them RBI singles. Helped the Blue Jays to a 5-3 win. The 2-1. Outside 3-1. His at-bat in the second really stood out. Springer fouled off 8, maybe 9 pitches in a row. John Schneider told us today he didn't even remember if he had used his 1 timeout yet. The 3-1, right at the bottom of the zone, strike 2. Ended up knocking in Dalton Varsho and then came around to score. Or he didn't come around to score. He broke up a double play to allow Vladdy to reach first, and Bo Bichette would homer in Guerrero. Next at bat, 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
And Logan Gilbert was actually really upset with that pitch. That was just a cement mixer, a backup slider that kind of came through the zone on the inside part of the plate. It was supposed to be way outside, and that's a really difficult pitch to hit. If you talk to a hitter, they'll tell you that backup slider is one of the most difficult pitches to hit.
So 1 out after that slider strikes out Springer. Nobody on. The pitch to Guerrero. Smoke to right field. Haniger going back, makes the catch on the track. 2 down. Vladdy tattooed that ball to right, but Haniger just had to go straight back. He was in good position.
And even though that'll go as an L9 in the scorebook, that is a good sign as Vlad is looking up at the sky right now wondering, what do I have to do to get on base? But he's using the big part of the field, and he drilled that ball.
109 miles an hour off the bat of Guerrero. Bo Bichette up, 2 outs, base is empty. 1 hit so far for the Blue Jays. The pitch. Inside, nearly hit Bichette, 1-0. Bo's got hits in each of his last 4 games. The pitch. Chopped to the left side, foul, 1-1. He's got extra base hits in each of the last 4 games, too, capped off by his first home run of the season yesterday. 4 doubles and a homer this year for Bo. He faces a 1-1 from Gilbert. Bounce to the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, early on in this season, the first 4 or 5 games, Bo kind of looked lethargic. He was making bad decisions up there, but the last 2 or 3 games, he's really on every pitch. He's putting up a good fight up there, and most importantly, he's swinging at good pitches.
Bo did have to miss some games early on, dealing with some neck soreness. The 2-1. Liner to right, that's a base hit. Rolling into the glove of the right fielder, Haniger. 2-out knock for the Blue Jays extends the inning for Justin Turner. Bo's now hit in 5 straight.
And when Bo's going right, that's what he does. He hits with power and authority to the opposite field. He takes that good fastball from Logan Gilbert and just drills it through the hole in the infield there.
Led Major League Baseball in hits the other way last year. Here's Justin Turner, struck out on a fastball in the bottom of the 2nd. Runner on first, 2 down. The pitch. Low ball 1. Raleigh sliding to his left to block that one from getting to the backstop. Turner has been really on it to start the year, even with the strikeout, batting .314 right now. The 1-0. Called strike.
And again, there was a massive hole on the right side of that infield. Jorge Polanco is almost playing directly up the middle, the second baseman, and Ty France is holding on Bo Bichette. Justin Turner's really good at going the other way, too.
Turner crowds the plate, the 1-1. Inside, a little bit high. 2 balls, 1 strike. White batting gloves, white cleats for Turner. Blue sleeves poking out of the white jersey. 2-1 pitch. Lifted to right. Very high, not very deep. Haniger jogging in, makes the catch, and ends the inning. Bichette's 2-out hit stranded. Blue Jays still scoreless. They're down 1-0 as we go to the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
There is no competition in soccer quite like the UEFA Champions League. And it's on Sirius XM FC.
Kylian Mbappe delivering when it matters most.
The stakes are higher now in the knockout stage, where 1 goal can transform a club's trajectory.
Jude Bellingham's driving, scores!
And 1 performance can turn a star into an immortal.
Erling Haaland has 5!
It's the Champions League knockout stage, and all the top matches are on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on top of the women's college basketball world yet again.
Perfection for South Carolina. 38 games, 38 wins.
We're reacting to the perfect season and talking to the biggest names right here on Channel 374.
Congratulations, Coach Staley. What does this particular title mean to you?
This title is pretty special because it was unexpected.
Keep it locked into SiriusXM SEC Radio as we continue to break it all down and celebrate the Gamecocks' 3rd national title.
Hi, this is Mike Tirico. Masters Radio returns Monday, April 8th on Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, no matter where you are, you won't miss a pitch with the SiriusXM app. Hear every game all season long. Download the SiriusXM app and search Blue Jays.
Tune to SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 all year long to hear expert opinions and analysis from former players, coaches, and executives.
At Radio Network.
The 5th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance, helping Canadians through it all. Desjardins Insurance, insurance with a heart so big it shows. Visit Desjardins.com/heart today. Dylan Moore leads off for the Mariners. 1-0 Seattle. The pitch from Yusei Kikuchi is slammed to center, but he got a little bit under it. Kiermaier steps to his left, makes a 2-handed catch, 1 out. Kikuchi could use some pitch efficiency if he wants to potentially pitch into the 6th inning. Hasn't been terrible so far. 69 pitches after that out recorded. He's been really good in terms of shutting down the Mariners. Has allowed 1 run, but only 2 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. With 1 out, here's Luis Urias. Called strike 1.
Yeah, and on that RBI single by J.P. Crawford, it was actually a good pitch. It was a good fastball up in the zone. J.P. just muscled it out to the outfield.
Left on right pitch. Urias waves through the slider. 0-2. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, one final already today. The Minnesota Twins, who have struggled out of the gate a little bit, beat the Los Angeles Dodgers to get to 4-6. LA now 10-5. It's a 3-2 win for the Twins at home. The 0-2. Bounced, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big day, too, for one of the great young Canadian players. Edouard Julien from Quebec City hit 2 solo homers, had 3 hits, and scored all 3 runs for Minnesota in the game. 1-2. Broken bat, bouncer to short. Picked up by Bichette, sprinting to his left. Throws across his body in time. Nice play by Bo. 2 outs.
And Eddie Julien did not speak English when he went to Auburn. Can you imagine going to Alabama and only speaking French and then learning English, succeeding at college, probably as courses too, because you have to do well in English courses to be able to play baseball, and then excel at baseball as well?
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool for French Canada, too. First pitch, down low to J.P. Crawford, 1-0. Yeah, I don't know that there are that many similarities between Quebec City and Auburn. 1-0 is called strike 1. Maybe there is, though. I don't know. Haven't been to either.
Well, I've been to both, and there are
not very
zero similarities.
1-1 count, 2 outs, nobody on. Left-handed hitting J.P. Crawford up. Kikuchi's pitch. Breaking ball for strike 2 at the knees. 1-0 for the Mariners over the Blue Jays. Top of the 5th inning. Crawford with the RBI single. That's the separator in this game. The 1-2. Hit hard to center. Kiermaier on the run toward right center field. Curls and makes the catch. Just off to his left, chest high to end the inning. 2 catches by Kiermaier in a 1-2-3 top of the 5th. Blue Jays look to get on the board, trailing 1-0 in the home half of the 5th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hear the Masters exclusively on SiriusXM. Hi, this is Mike Tirico, and there's nothing like the Masters.
Rory McIlroy, he's thinking grand slam.
The beauty of the azaleas, the passion of the patrons, and the best golfers in the world vying for a green jacket.
It turned right into the cup for John Rahm.
It all makes for one of the most iconic weekends in sports. Join me for live coverage of the Masters starting tomorrow at 2 Eastern on Masters Radio, Channel 92, in the car, and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
It's a home run for Ronald Acuna.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to daily fantasy basketball to getting you ready for the NFL Draft, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
How you manage your team day in and day out will be the difference in where you finish in 2024.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are on top of the women's college basketball world yet again.
Perfection for South Carolina. 38 games, 38 wins.
We're reacting to the perfect season and talking to the biggest names right here on Channel 374.
Congratulations, Coach Saley. What does this particular title mean to you?
This title is pretty special because it was unexpected.
Keep it locked into SiriusXM SEC Radio as we continue to break it all down and celebrate the Gamecocks' 3rd national title.
In season or out of season, the #1 place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Blue Jays and Mariners, 1-0 Seattle. Bottom of the fifth. First pitch to Cavan Biggio, called strike one. Logan Gilbert still dominating Toronto. Only 2 hits allowed in this game, and one of them is to Biggio. One strike offering. Low, 1-1. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left, Chris LaRue. Show Ali, our host and producer. Derek Brandeo and Tom Young, our technical directors. 1-1 to Biggio. Inside, ball 2. Lots of interesting news with some of the Blue Jays players on the injured list today. We'll go over that following the at-bat for Biggio. 2-1. Low ball 3, as he often does. Biggio being very stingy with the strike zone here, forcing Gilbert now to come after him in a 3-1 count. The right-hander winds and offers. Called strike. A delayed one there by Ben May. That one maybe hit the zone just on the outside edge.
Yeah, that was actually a good take from Cavan Biggio. He almost threw his bat near the dugout. Thought it was ball 4, but...
The 3-2. Called strike 3. That one, a beautiful fastball on the outside corner. 1 down. The injury report is brought to you by Bergmanis Prira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Prira Personal Injury Lawyers. You focus on getting better, and Bergmanis Prira will take care of the rest. Visit bplawyers.ca. First, the first pitch to Alejandro Kirk with 1 out and the base is empty. 1-0 Mariners, bottom of the fifth. In there, strike 1. Alejandro Kirk has started 11 of 13 games so far. Maybe, though, getting some relief soon. Danny Jansen is DHing today for the Buffalo Bisons, according to John Schneider in his first rehab appearance. 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. Schneider said that there's a possibility that Jansen, if it goes well, will catch for the Bisons on Friday, and had mentioned the idea of getting him into a game as a catcher a couple of times over the weekend. 0-2. Bounced, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Go ahead.
I was going to say a big part of catchers rehabbing is the conditioning process. You can't just throw catchers into the game and expect them to catch 9 innings after not catching for a month. So Danny Jansen, a lot like a starting pitcher, will kind of have to work himself up.
Kirk asks for time right before Gilbert gets into the wind. And Gilbert will take a deep breath and wipe his gloved left hand on his pant leg before stepping back on the rubber. 1 ball, 2 strike count to the Blue Jays catcher Kirk. 1 out, bases empty, bottom of the fifth. Gilbert twists and delivers. Check swing on a pitch down and in. Appeal to first. He went around, says Adam Beck. Back-to-back strikeouts. There are 2 down. Other injury-related news for the Blue Jays. Jordan Romano and Eric Swanson will be pitching for the Buffalo Bisons tomorrow. Swanson had a rehab appearance at Single A. For Romano, it's his first time back in a game. And Alek Manoah will throw a side session today. Tentatively will start for the Bisons on Saturday. The pitch to Kevin Kiermaier shows bunt, pulls it back, called strike. That's the injury news for the Toronto Blue Jays. Third baseman Luis Urias playing even with the line after Kiermaier showed bunt there. Something he tried a little bit in the spring. The 0-1. Swing and a looper foul over the screen, popping out of the box seats and back into the stands. 0-2.
Well, I am most excited for Danny Jansen to get back up here because I know, I didn't talk to him, but I can just imagine that Alejandro Kirk needs a little bit of a breather.
2-strike pitch. Bounce to the plate. John Schneider said they wouldn't have him do this if they didn't think he could handle it, but did mention yesterday how difficult this is. It comes with the territory, he said, too. He's a guy who caught in his professional career, but it's not easy to catch 11 of 13 games. The 1-2. Foul tipped into the glove, strike 3. Gilbert strikes out the side in the 5th. It's 1-0 Mariners headed to the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2-minute truck, 2-minute truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2-minute truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks, so give us a call today.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep. Because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
This is Jordan Romano, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 6th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance, helping Canadians through it all. Desjardins Insurance, insurance with a heart so big it shows. Visit desjardins.com/heart today. First pitch of the inning, swung on and lifted to right center. It's down in front of Kiermaier for a base hit. Julio Rodriguez with the 3rd hit today for the Mariners against Yusei Kikuchi, and he's a leadoff base runner. Mariners up 1-0. Kikuchi left the fastball a little bit higher than intended. Middle in against Rodriguez, who sliced it out to right. He takes the lead off first, stole 37 bases last year. Ty France at the plate now. The left on right pitch. Hit well to right field. Springer backing up, reaches up, makes the catch. Rodriguez way off first, scampers back. 1 out. On Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays trailing 1-0 here, but Kikuchi pitching well so far, trying to strand that leadoff base runner now.
Yeah, I love that he's pounding the strike zone with the fastball. Even that fastball to Julio Rodriguez to start this inning off. It was a good fastball up around the hands, but Julio's so strong, just drives it into right field.
40 of the last 55 pitches for Kikuchi have been in the zone. After starting the game a little bit uneven, walked a batter to start the 2nd and the 3rd. He's really settled in the strike zone and struck out 8 as well. Just checked on Rodriguez. And now the pitch to Mitch Haniger. Fouled off to the right, 0-1.
And when you have stuff like Yusei does, there's no reason why you shouldn't be pounding the zone. You shouldn't be picking around the zone. Throw that thing down the middle first pitch, get strike 1, and then you can kind of work the quadrants.
Left-hander peeking down, listening to the pitch comm. Kirk gives him the sign. A look at first now in the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Rodriguez is actually leaning towards second on first base. I don't know if that's because he intends to steal or if that's something he does. I haven't seen him do that
I haven't seen him do that either. Could just be trying to get the attention, too, of Yusei Kikuchi. Maybe not wanting to give away when he is stealing, so disguising it right now. 1-1, he takes off, and the pitch is fouled off. 1-2. Despite him leaning, didn't actually think he got a great jump on that pitch, but he's really fast.
He was tipping right there.
Yeah.
Just like pitchers can tip their pitches, runners can tip as well, and he was kind of leaning, looking like he was going to run. I mean, I could see it up here, so I can almost guarantee that the Jays saw it in the dugout.
Pretty big lead for Rodriguez again. 1 ball, 2 strike count, and 1 out. Kikuchi steps off fakes a throw over. That's 2 disengagements in the plate appearance. So now Julio can extend his lead just a little bit more. Maybe takes an extra half step, leading to second. Doesn't go on the 1-2. It's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a good job by Yusei Kikuchi. He knows that Julio will probably take off in the next couple of pitches, and he just did a quick pitch right there to throw Julio off. He couldn't get a good jump, so Rodriguez had to go back to first base.
Turner holding him on. The 2-2. Hit in the air to center. Kiermaier racing in. So is Varsho. Kiermaier settles under it after probably an 100-foot run and makes the catch. 2 outs.
Yeah, that was one of those scary plays where everybody's converging in that triangle area. And you could see Kevin Kiermaier screaming, I got it, I got it. And Bo and Dalton Varsho just back away. Good play by Kevin Kiermaier.
Kiermaier covered 107 feet of ground to make that catch. 2 outs now. Jorge Polanco, the switch hitter, bats right. He's 0 for 2. Fielder's choice and a ground out to third. Kikuchi will throw over to first. Rodriguez back standing. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, the Rays off to a good start in Anaheim, up 3-0. It's the bottom of the first inning. Tampa Bay and Los Angeles. First pitch to Polanco, swing and a miss, strike 1. In that first inning, Rays loaded the bases. Soriano, the starter for the Angels, bounced a pitch to the backstop, but it clipped Matt Theis, the Angels catcher. He thought it was under him, couldn't find it. 2 runs came in to score on the wild pitch. A sacrifice fly by Isaac Paredes would add the next run. 0-1, Julio takes off, fouled back into the screen, 0-2. And Julio Rodriguez jogging back to first base. Twice he's tried to steal. Twice a pitch has been fouled off.
So he's probably gassed. I'm assuming he won't try again. But I said that yesterday, and
Dalton Varsho just kept going and going.
Dalton's a gamer, though.
Yeah.
He would go 3 or 4 or 5 times in a row.
2 outs, runner on first, 2 strikes. The pitch. Check swing on a pitch low, appeal down to first, no swing. Did look like Polanco held it back. But Alejandro Kirk was trying to stand up to maybe sell the call to the first base umpire, Adam Beck.
Yeah, that's part of a catcher's job, is to be a good actor. He didn't go.
Yeah, close, but pretty clear, I think, that he held it back. Kikuchi's going to step and fire over to first. So that's the second disengagement of this plate appearance. Back to back. He's given up 2. The third one, if unsuccessful, would give Rodriguez second base for free. So he's likely to steal, not certain. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Kikuchi pitches. Outside, ball 2. Rodriguez stayed put.
I do really like when Kikuchi goes over twice and Julio Rodriguez or whoever is running is likely to run Kikuchi quick pitches, so the runner at first base doesn't really have a chance to get a good jump, and he did that twice to Julio Rodriguez.
Rodriguez inching out his lead. It's a big one at first. Turner holds him on. 2-2, he takes off. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Polanco chased the fastball outside. That's the 9th strikeout today for Kikuchi in 5 innings, make it 6 innings of 1-run ball. 1-0, the Mariners over the Blue Jays, middle of the 6th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. Let's go, We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 from Texas Motor Speedway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yes!
The Masters is on SiriusXM.
Has pace, working up to the hole, needs the turn. It turned all right. It turned right into the cup for John Rahm. That's a birdie.
Hi, this is Mike Tirico. Hear every incredible shot and all the dramatic moments as the best golfers in the world vie for the coveted green jacket.
Everyone at Amen Corner stands and appreciates the great Tiger Woods.
Hear the Masters exclusively on Sirius XM, on Masters Radio Channel 92 in the car, and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Get ready for the 2024 NFL Draft on Sirius XM NFL Radio.
Touchdown, Caleb Williams.
Catch exclusive interviews with the top prospects as they begin their journey to the NFL. And hear pick-by-pick coverage of the 2024 Draft from Detroit.
With the first pick, the Chicago Bears select.
Your home for the 2024 NFL Draft is Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
You want baseball? The doggy has you covered. Tune in to Mad Dog Unleashed for the best baseball coverage anywhere. Weekdays 3 to 6 Eastern. Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Radio Network.
1-0 Mariners, bottom of the 6th inning. Logan Gilbert dealing to Ernie Clement. And Gilbert into the wind. The 6'6 righty pitches. Clement pops it up behind the plate. Raleigh going over, Gilbert going over, called off by the first baseman, France in foul territory. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 6th inning. Sunday, April 14th marks the first Junior Jays of the season. Junior Jays opening day. Bring the whole family to the ballpark for a day packed with excitement. Enjoy games, prizes, artists, and much more. Be sure to stick around postgame where kids 14 and under can run the bases. Don't miss out on this unforgettable experience. Head to bluejays.com/juniorjays to get your tickets today. Dalton Varsho, the 9-hitter for the Blue Jays, up. 1-0 Mariners, 1 out, base is empty. Gilbert's pitch. Low ball 1.
Logan Gilbert was actually somewhat camped underneath that pop-up by Ernie Clement, and Ty France came in there with screaming at him. Unwritten rule, no pitcher can catch a pop fly.
The 1-0. Pop up left side foul territory. Long run Luis Urias on the side warning track, curls and makes the catch. Runs into Cal Raleigh softly, not a major collision. 2 outs. By the way, really no action at all in the Seattle bullpen with 2 outs in the 6th. Logan Gilbert's thrown 61 pitches so far, allowed just 2 hits, and blanked the Blue Jays in 5 2/3. Third time through the order now for Toronto. Here's George Springer. Blue Jays down 1-0. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left, Chris LaRue. First pitch coming to Springer. Called strike 1.
Well, as much as you want to be patient against any pitcher, really, Logan Gilbert's a guy that just fills up the zone, so there's no real reason to be patient. He throws strike after strike. If you see a pitch that you like, swing the bat.
The 0-1. Inside, 1-1. About 2/3 of Gilbert's 63 pitches today have landed in the zone. 3 tough Seattle pitchers in the series. Blue Jays hit the last 2 starters, having trouble with Gilbert. The 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1.
I think the main difference between Luis Castillo and
Logan Gilbert or George Kirby.
Sorry, George Kirby and Logan Gilbert is Logan Gilbert isn't really making any mistakes today.
2-1, hit up the middle on a line. Rodriguez won't make the play. No, it's the second baseman Polanco flying out of nowhere to make the catch. A looper to center retrieved by the second baseman for the 3rd out, and that will send us to the 7th. 1-0 Mariners. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
We're 2 men and a truck, and we've got lots of men and lots of trucks. Whether you're planning a move to a new home or to a new office down the hall, big or small, we move them all. We even sell packing and moving supplies. But no matter what you need, we'll do it with a smile. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. So when you're planning your next move, call 2 Men and a Truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
When you have an iconic look like Danny Jansen, picking new glasses can be tough.
Too big, too small, too cool, too much, too 90s, too futuristic. I think I'm just going to stick with the originals. These are working just fine.
He is really seeing the ball well. Your friends will do a double take when they see you in your Danny Jansen new blue replica jersey and glasses.
And he's got some style.
On Monday, April 29th, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Jano bundle. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
He delivers a 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Top of the 7th inning, new pitcher into the game for the Blue Jays. 5th appearance of the season for hard-throwing righty Nate Pearson. He enters with Toronto trailing 1-0, and Mitch Garver, Cal Raleigh, and Dylan Moore do up 6, 7, 8 in the Seattle order. I'm Ben Schulman. To my left, Chris LaRue. Really nice day today for Yusei Kikuchi in a 6-inning start. He strikes out 9, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks. First pitch, Pearson to Garver. 94 at the bottom of the zone for strike 1.
And unlike last night when we saw Chris Bassett come back out for the 7th after 101 pitches, Yusei gets yanked after 89.
0-1 pitch is inside, 1-1. Blue Jays were trying to stretch their starters out a little bit the last 2 days after using the pen a ton in New York. Both Barrios and Bassett went over 100. 1-1 pitch hooked on the ground to third. On the run, picked up by Clement. Whizzes it over to first. 1 out.
Nate Pearson is starting to gain the trust of John Schneider. You can tell with every outing. Not only is his confidence getting better, but he's coming into ball games that are closer, higher leverage situations. This ball game is a close ball game. They're only down by 1 run. Sometimes earlier on in the season, you'd see down by 3, down by 4. Obviously, John Schneider likes what he sees.
Cal Raleigh turns around left. The switch hitter fouls back the first pitch just off to our left near the Seattle booth. And it's 0-1. 1 out, base is empty. 1-0 Mariners, top of 7. The 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pearson kicks and delivers. Just outside, the 6'6 righty misses against Cal Raleigh to make it 2-1. It's time to check on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard once again. First, the pitch from Pearson. Outside again, 3 balls, 1 strike. Coming up tonight, Game 3, Miami at New York. The Marlins and the Bronx take it on the Yankees. Pearson's 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Walks Raleigh with 1 out. In that Marlins-Yankees game, Ryan Weathers starting for the Marlins, who are just 1-11 to start the year. Marcus Stroman will start for the Yankees, and he was so good against the Blue Jays in his first start at Yankee Stadium. He'll try to replicate that. Hasn't allowed an earned run so far this year. 1 out, Dylan Moore to the plate, the pitch. Breaking ball, strike 1. Raleigh not a threat to run at first. Time asked for by Moore, granted by home plate umpire Ben May. The other game in the AL East on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard mentioned Jackson Holliday to debut today. He'll bat 9th for the Orioles. They visit the Red Sox. 0-1. Broken bat bouncer to third. Blocked by Clement off his chest. Picks it up, throws to second for 1. Throw over to first, not in time. But a nice stop there by Ernie in the hot corner. Gets 1 out on the Moore fielder's choice.
Yeah, you can clearly see that ball just drilled him in the stomach. He's kind of hunched over at third base there. But what a good play from Ernie Clement, sacrificing his body to get at least 1 out. He throws it over to Kevin Biggio at second base. But couldn't get the out at first, but what a play from Ernie Clement. We've seen him be so smooth over there on the left side of that infield.
Pete Walker's going to come out and talk to Nate Pearson, pinch hitter right now, and that's likely the reason that Walker's going out there to give the notes and maybe the numbers on Dominic Canzone, who's off the bench to bat for Luis Urias. On that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the game between Baltimore and Boston will start at 7:10 Eastern at Fenway Park. Cole Irvin starts the lefty for the Orioles against right-hander Cutter Crawford for Boston. Left-handed hitting Canzone steps in now. Homered yesterday, his third home run of the season. He's been one of the better players on the offensive side for Seattle this year. 2 outs, runner on first. Pearson delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Went inside and low with the fastball.
Yeah, I think that was the reason for Pete Walker running out to the mound there, just to tell him that Canzone has a little bit of Oppo Taco juice, so might want to be careful with him first pitch.
0-1. Fouled into the screen, 0-2. Home run went to left field yesterday over the bullpen. Started the scoring for the Mariners in a game that the Blue Jays would win 5-3. They're down 1-0 right now, are Toronto. Runner on first after the walk. 2 outs, 2 strikes. Pearson's pitch. Bounce to the plate. Good block by Kirk. Stopped it. It rolls in front of the plate. It's 1-2.
That was a really good 0-2 pitch there. A slider that was bounced. Alejandro Kirk does a good job of blocking that baseball, but that's where you want that ball. If 0-2 count, a guy as good as Canzone with a lot of power, don't put it in the zone at all.
Mitch White getting loose for the Blue Jays right now. Pearson, glove at his chest, turns, throws to first. Raleigh dives back. He had actually hopped in the wrong direction. Or pardon me, not Raleigh, Dylan Moore, who stole a base earlier today, replaced Raleigh on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, Dylan Moore took 2 big hops and then realized that Nate Pearson isn't delivering that ball to home plate.
He takes off on the 1-2, which is hit foul to the left side. A fly ball into the seats. Those are big bounces he makes. If you step off at the right time, he is done. Moore 2 for 3 in stolen base attempts this year. Pearson tries again with another 1-2 to Dominic Canzone. Fastball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's really hoppy over there, clearly trying to time Pearson. And if Pearson holds the baseball, just like he did on that last pitch, Dylan Moore can't steal second.
Pearson sets with 8 seconds to work with on the clock. Hops and a takeoff on the pitch. Ground ball to first. Backhanded stop by Turner. He'll take it over to first base. Staring at his glove. Look what he found. He found the 3rd out of the inning. The walk stranded. The Blue Jays still trail 1-0 as we get to the 7th inning stretch. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Sundays are for Junior Jays, and with all kinds of cool new games and activities in the exciting outfield district areas, there's no end to the family fun you'll have.
If you're feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at desjardins.com/heart.
That radio network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leads off for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 7th, 1-0 Seattle. Logan Gilbert into the wind. The starter's pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Blue Jays only have 2 hits against Logan Gilbert, both singles. The 0-1 in the dirt. Guerrero, though, nearly had extra bases the last time he was up. Hardest hit ball of the day at 109 miles an hour. He smoked one to right, but it was run down by Mitch Haniger. The 1-1. High drive to left. Way back. We're tied. Park that one in the second deck for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 1-1 game. Third home run of the season for Guerrero. Hey, and when 108 isn't hard enough, just hit it 114 and 459 feet out to left center.
We know he's heating up. His last at-bat, he hit a rocket to right field. Even that first swing, he was trying to do something big for this team, and Logan Gilbert slipped in that slider, but Logan threw that fastball right there, and Vlad did not miss it.
Here's the pitch to Bo Bichette, who fouls it off 0-1. So the Blue Jays have trailed since the third, but all it took was one big fly from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and he and everyone in the ballpark knew he got it. Guerrero yelling back to his teammates as he rounded the bases, trying to fire them up. 1-1 game, no outs, bottom of the 7th, the 0-1. High, ball one.
And that actually wasn't a fastball. Was it a backup slider?
I think it was a hanging slider that Guerrero took out. Hitting mistakes is what the Blue Jays have done well this series. Guerrero hitting one there. A rare mistake from Gilbert. 1-1. Bichette pounds it foul down the third base line, 1-2.
And he hadn't really made any mistakes up until that point, but that's what good hitters do. They wait for a good pitcher like Logan Gilbert to make a mistake, and then they make them pay. And Vlad right there, that was a thing of beauty.
1-2 to Bichette. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chased the breaking ball in the dirt. That was actually the splitter. 7th strikeout today for Gilbert, 1 out. Fans get closer to the action than ever before at the newly renovated Rogers Center. The outfield walls have been brought in on both baselines. That means great sight lines and being even closer to big plays in the outfield. To experience this change and others around the ballpark, visit BlueJays.com/ticket packs. Justin Turner is up. 1-1 game, 1 out, bases empty. The pitch. Low, ball 1.
I tell you what, when this team is going well offensively, they're fun to watch. The bottom half of the lineup does their job, and then the top 5 guys in this lineup do that.
Turner with an American League leading 6 doubles, has 1 homer, 2, the 1-0. Drives the ball to left center, down for a base hit, racing over to get it Dylan Moore. Turner will stop at first. 2 hits in the inning for the Blue Jays, and now a runner on for Kevin Biggio.
And Justin Turner is a line drive machine. Even when he gets out, he's hitting that ball hard at somebody. I've seen him a few times this year just drill that ball over the shortstop. He's so good at using the big part of the field. Just calmly swinging that bat, kind of sauntering to first base. He's fun to watch.
That was a bit of a hanging cutter, if that's possible. That one stuck over the middle of the plate. Gilbert's pitch to Kevin Biggio, lifted to shallow left, actually won't even make it out to the turf. The shortstop Crawford makes the catch on the edge of the dirt. 2 outs. It's not like Gilbert has thrown a lot of pitches, although he's in the 7th. That out recorded on his 75th pitch. But it does look like in this inning he's starting to slip a little bit, and with the Blue Jays tying up the game, Jimmy Garcia getting loose for them as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? His velocity is the same as it was in the first inning, but he's making more mistakes.
Alejandro Kirk up. The pitch. High, and it bounced out of the glove of Raleigh, who I believe was crossed up on that pitch. But Turner can't go anywhere as Raleigh quickly reels it back in. 1-0 count, runner on first, 2 outs.
Yeah, he either lost that ball or it was a cross-up, but I'm leaning towards cross-up.
Reached way up, and the slider hit the bottom of his glove and bounced away. Kirk with 7 RBIs this year, most on the team, tied with Schneider, 1-0. Ground ball to short, picked up by Crawford. He'll jog to second to beat Turner and end the inning. Blue Jays tie it, though, on Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s 3rd homer of the year, 1-1, headed to the 8th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, it's Taylor. It's finally here.
For 1 month. Listen now.
SiriusXM Channel.
NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. Let's go! We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400 from Texas Motor Speedway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app. Get closer to everything that moves you wherever you are with the SiriusXM app.
Let's make some smoke and drink some beer. Yes!
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, original specials, and much, much, much more. All baseball, every day, on your radio. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Jimmy Garcia into the game for the Blue Jays. It's now tied 1-1, top of the 8th inning. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a massive home run, 459 feet, a no-doubter to left center to make it a tie ball game. And now Garcia, who's really been the head of the snake for this bullpen with Swanson and Romano out, is tasked with keeping it 1-1. Up against the top of the order, J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, and Ty France to hit this inning for Seattle. Fifth appearance of the season for Garcia. And his first pitch to Crawford. Hit well to center field, but not well enough. Settling up in left center, it's Dalton Varsho making the catch. 1 out.
And I think that's the biggest difference between the beginning of last year and Jimmy Garcia this year is he's filling up the strike zone with that good, hard 97-mile-an-hour fastball. We've seen him up to 98, 99. If he can fill up the zone, especially with that sink that he has, he's a great option in the 7th and the 8th inning, high-leverage situations for this team.
Pitch to Julio Rodriguez, called strike 1. While Chad Green has pitched many 9th innings for this team, it's been Jimmy Garcia who often has been coming in against the top of the order or with runners on in big situations for Toronto so far. Worth noting that Chad Green has pitched over 20 pitches 2 days in a row, so he's likely unavailable today. The 0-1. Fouled off, 0-2.
That pitch was nasty right there. Good hard sink, 97 at the bottom of the zone. And if a guy like Julio Rodriguez can't hit a fastball that you throw, it's probably a pretty good fastball.
Oh, yeah. Back-to-back silver sluggers for Rodriguez. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 99 at the top of the zone. 2 outs.
Yeah, Julio had no clue what was coming. It could have been that slider, but Jimmy decided to go with the high heat there at 99 above the strike zone, and Rodriguez just swings right through it. He slams his foot down into the dirt in frustration.
Rodriguez 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Ty France 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Bats right now. 2 outs, bases empty. 1-1, top 8 the pitch. Breaking ball inside, 1-0. Join the Toronto Blue Jays in honoring the life and legacy of Jackie Robinson at the ballpark Monday, April 15th. Be among the first 15,000 lucky fans to receive a special Blue Jays Jackie Robinson 42 hat. Line drive to first, caught by Turner on the backhand side, and that will end the inning. To participate in Jackie Robinson Day, visit BlueJays.com/promotions to learn more and purchase your ticket today. 1-1 game, middle of the 8th. Blue Jays have 7, 8, 9 coming up next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
He doesn't throw fastballs. He throws fuego. He has the focus and agility of a Shaolin monk.
Gold glover Jose Barrios.
He's not just a pitcher. He's a machine. He defends the field and our city's honor.
He is one of the best defensively out on the mound.
Jose Barrios is as good as gold. Celebrate Jose's golden accomplishment with the Jose Barrios Gold Glove Bobblehead, Friday, April 12th. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for the strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
That was Desjardins Insurance, playing insurance with a heart so big it shows. Tune in for your auto and home coverage at Desjardins.com/heart.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Barrios retires 7 in a row.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Kevin Kiermaier leads off the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-1 Blue Jays and Mariners. Kiermaier, Clement, Varsho scheduled to hit for Toronto, who just tied the game in the bottom of the 7th on a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. home run. Gilbert still the starter for the Mariners in. His pitch to Kiermaier, swung on and missed, strike 1.
Yeah, Kiermaier frustrated after that swing there. That ball was clearly out of the zone, and he swings right over it. I believe it was a split finger. He's just not seeing the ball very well right now.
0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts today against Gilbert. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Looked like the slider that got past him. 0-2. Gilbert has struck him out on sliders both times. Mariners closer Andres Munoz warming up. 0-2 pitch. Bounced. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Munoz was a near certainty to come into the game today at some point. Hasn't pitched since Saturday. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 by Kiermaier, who goes down on the slider. 3 strikeout day for him, 1 out. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. 1 out, here's Ernie Clement. 1-1 game, bases empty, bottom 8. And the pitch from Logan Gilbert. In there, strike 1. Seven and a third of 1-run ball for Gilbert. He's only allowed 4 hits and struck out 8. The 0-1. Bounced. 1 ball, 1 strike. I will say, for a guy who's dominated and hasn't walked any, he has bounced a crazy number of pitches today. just to the fact that he's been in really good command other than that. Bounced a handful in front of the plate, too. The 1-1. Clement hits a bouncer to third. Picked up on 2 hops and a throw over to first in time.
Yeah, you're right. He's bounced a ton of pitches, not on purpose either. Usually if it's 1-2, 0-2, or any 2-strike count, you'll see a pitcher bounce something. But Logan's done it 0-0, 1-0, 0-1. Yeah, for a guy with the command that he has, he's bounced a lot of pitches.
Third baseman, by the way, is Dylan Moore now for Seattle. Dominic Canzone pinch hit against Nate Pearson and went into left. First pitch to Dalton Varsho with 2 outs is ripped to center field, sinking and down. Varsho now 1 for 3, and he keeps the inning alive, giving George Springer a chance to make an impact in this game. 1-1, bottom of the 8th. Springer's 0 for 3, but comes up with a runner on first, 2 outs.
I would love to see Dalton Varsho get to second base somehow. Find your way to second base, whether it's stealing a bag, just be a fire starter over there. That's what he paid to do.
Mound visit right now. Cal Raleigh talking to his pitcher Gilbert, gives him a pat on the side and starts walking back to the plate. "83 pitches today. 85 for Logan Gilbert as he starts this battle with Springer. 2 outs, runner on first, bottom 8. 1-1 game. The pitch. Bounced, ball 1.
And there is about an 85-foot hole between first base and second base. Ty France is holding Dalton Varsho on, and Jorge Polanco's at second base, almost directly behind second base. We've seen George Springer spray that ball to right field quite often lately. That would be a good choice right now.
1-0. Bounced again off the chest of Raleigh. 2 balls, no strikes. You mentioned Dalton Varsho maybe stealing. He did it 8 times without being thrown out in 19 games in spring training. 16 times in each of the last 2 regular seasons. Hasn't attempted one yet, or doesn't have a registered attempt. A couple foul-offs by Springer when he tried to yesterday. 2-0 to George. Low ball 3. And at this point, with Springer in so much command of the count, they probably don't want to risk it.
No, he's definitely not going on this pitch, especially with Vlad coming up next.
Guerrero homered to deep left field last time up. Springer trying to pass the baton to him. Runner on first, 2 outs. The 3-0. Varsho does take off. It's outside, ball 4. A bit surprising, but they started him. Maybe a little reverse psychology. Didn't matter anyway as Springer walks. Varsho gets second base for free. And it's first and second for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a guy who Logan Gilbert will not get to face one more time. Scott Service out to make a pitching change. Andres Munoz, the closer for the Mariners, about to come into the game. Let's go back to baseball control for the first time today. Here's our host and producer, Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. Before we check that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, a reminder that Blair and Barker have Jays Talk today. They will take your phone calls after the final out. They will be on both radio and television. You can leave them a message via the back leg line, and you can do so right now. 416-413-3959. Please leave your name and location. Barker will remind you if you call, or text them at 590-590, name and location as well. As we have our afternoon game on the go right now, it does mean most other baseball games are taking place later tonight, including the Orioles taking on the Red Sox. That game's at 7:10 Eastern, 4:10 Pacific. Jackson Holliday going to make his debut tonight, baseball's #1 overall prospect, getting the call-up today. He will play second base and bat 9th in the Orioles lineup later on. Chris LaRue's Yankees continue their series against Chris LaRue's Marlins, 7:05 Eastern, 4:05 Pacific. That game will be on Sportsnet 360 tonight. Marcus Stroman going to take his 0.00 ERA on the season to the mound for New York. Action right now, the Rays lead the Angels 4-0. Top of the 3rd inning, the Nationals trail the Giants in San Francisco 5-1. San Francisco leads Washington, and the Rockies lead the Diamondbacks 3-2. Of course, the Rockies going to be in Toronto starting on Friday. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action down at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Runners on first and second for the Blue Jays after the 2-out hit by Varsho and the 2-out walk by George Springer. Logan Gilbert done after 7 2/3 of very impressive pitching, although he's responsible for both runners aboard. Andres Munoz, the closer for Seattle, will try to strand them. Munoz, a guy whose fastball dials up to 99, can throw a sinker in the high 90s as well, and will throw a high 80s slider to complement it. He goes up against Guerrero, 1 for 3 with a solo home run, the one Blue Jays run today in the 1-1 game. First pitch to Guerrero. Downstairs, ball 1.
I actually really like this matchup. Vlad Jr. is seeing the ball really well, spraying the ball to the big part of the field. Munoz will groove one here some point.
Outfield plays straight up. A peek at second, Munoz 1-0. Down and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Gilbert pacing around at the edge of the first base dugout. Only 1 run on his line right now, but that could change in a flash. 2-0 to Guerrero. Hit in the air to center. Rodriguez starts back, running in, makes the catch in right center, and ends the inning. The Blue Jays strand a pair after 1 hit. No runs for Toronto in the 8th. Will go to the 9th, tied at 1 at Rogers Center. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The 2024 NBA postseason starts next week, and SiriusXM NBA Radio brings you all the action. Slam dunk! Our experts break down every game.
This is what playoff basketball is all about.
Cover every storyline.
Prove me wrong. Prove the people wrong.
And bring you every can't-miss moment on the court every single night.
He's going to fire up a 3 for the win!
Your 24/7 home for hoops throughout the playoffs is SiriusXM NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Are you regretting eating that gas station hot dog? Yeah, we know. We've been there too. This is a message for baseball fans like you. Did you know that you get a channel that's talking baseball 24/7 as part of your SiriusXM subscription?
What?
Our lineup includes shows hosted by former big leaguers and executives. Plus, you'll hear from 17 managers each week. MLB Network Radio is on SiriusXM Channel 89. Or just search MLB Network Radio on the SXM app. SiriusXM Sports. We're more than just a game.
You love listening to baseball. You love talking about baseball. You love yelling at your buddies about baseball because they love baseball, and so do we. That's why SiriusXM has the only channel on the radio dedicated to baseball 24/7. It's MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89. News, opinions, passionate baseball talk from former players and GMs, plus interviews with players, managers, and executives, and much, much, much more. If you can hear me right now, you've got MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win whichever fantasy sport you play. Right now on Channel 87 and on the all-new SiriusXM app.
Network.
Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue, 1-1 game. Top of the 9th inning. Jimmy Garcia out for his 2nd inning of work. He faces Mitch Haniger, who hit a dramatic home run yesterday. The pitch. Breaking ball, strike 1. Haniger homered in yesterday's game in the 8th inning, a 2-run shot that turned a 5-1 Toronto lead into a 5-3 lead, his 2nd homer of the season. The 0-1 outside. 0 for 2 today, though, a walk, a strikeout, and a flyout. Garcia set. His pitch. Swing and a miss. 97 inside, 1-2.
That was disgusting. There was so much sink on that fastball, 97 miles an hour. Mitch Haniger just swings right over it.
Looked like it was right down the middle for a moment, and it was like a foot off the plate.
That was very impressive.
Jimmy's 1-2. Just outside at 100. Tough take there by Mitch Haniger, 2-2.
I think that was one of those pitches where Alejandro Kirk was set up, elevated, up out of the zone, and Jimmy Garcia still threw a pretty good pitch, but if Kirk was set up there, it would have been called a strike.
2-2 fouled back. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blue Jays leaning on Garcia here after he threw 27 pitches 2 days ago. But he didn't pitch yesterday, and they have a day off tomorrow. They want to stay in this 1-1 game. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went off speed outside the zone. Haniger went reaching, 1 down.
Well, Jimmy doesn't look like he's tired, that's for sure. He just threw a fastball at 100 and a nasty, sharp breaking ball right there to get Haniger.
88 on the slider by Garcia. Jorge Polanco is up, batting from his stronger left side. The pitch. Foul back into the netting, bounces off, and lands in the middle of the infield. 0-1. You mentioned last inning Garcia getting off to a much better start this year than last year. He came into camp looking like it was mid-July. He threw 97-98 in his first appearance. The 0-1. Fastball just outside.
And I tell you what, he looks like a closer. I know that there's Chad Green out there. I know that there's Jordan Romano out there, but Jimmy Garcia looks like a closer. He's got great, great stuff.
Closed for half of 2021 with Miami. The 1-1. In there, strike two. Got traded to Houston, and that's why he stopped closing that year. Not that he was taken out of his role, but rather was added to an already deep bullpen. One out, bases empty, 1-1, top nine. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Ugly whiff there from Polanco on 99. 2 outs on back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, that was kind of a half-hearted swing. I think Jorge Polanco was expecting a slider there. And
Jimmy didn't give him a slider.
He definitely did not. That was a great pitch on the outside part of the plate at 99, and Polanco kind of just flings the bat at it. Half-hearted swing right there.
2 outs, the pitch to Mitch Garver. Inside, ball one. 1-1 ball game, top of the ninth, bases empty. Garcia's 18th pitch of this outing. At the knees, right on the outside edge, strike one. Garver with a practice swing after a 1-1 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss, slowed it down to 86. Garver way out in front, 1-2.
He is feeling it right now. Locating everything, hitting Alejandro Kirk's glove perfectly.
Garver asks for time, steps out of the box, bangs the barrel off the outside part of his left foot, and steps back in. 2 taps of the plate. Looks out at Garcia, who's set at the belt. He kicks and fires. Went down and away. Garver wouldn't chase. 2-2.
What do you think? Elevated fastball here or another slider?
I'm feeling fastball.
I think Jimmy's feeling it too.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Went with the breaking ball, and he strikes out the side. 1-1 game headed to the bottom of the ninth. Bichette, Turner, Biggio when we return. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
When you have an iconic look like Danny Jansen, picking new glasses can be tough.
Too big, too small, too cool, too much, too 90s, too futuristic. I think I'm just going to stick with the originals. These are working just fine.
He is really seeing the ball well.
Your friends will do a double take when they see you in your Danny Jansen new blue replica jersey and glasses.
And he's got some style.
On Monday, April 29th, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Jano bundle. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to Fixed Rate Pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
A game-tying blast from Bo Bichette.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control in our downtown Toronto studios. Jays Mariners tied at 1 at the Rogers Center. A reminder that Blair and Barker have Jays Talk today. They're in studio. They will take your phone calls after the final out on both TV and radio. You can leave them a message via the back leg line. You can do so right now, 416-413-3959. Please leave your name and location, or text them at 590-590, name and location as well. Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays Mariners tied at 1. Bo Bichette in the box. Here's Ben and Chris.
Thank you very much, Joe. We're here in the Timbermark broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman. He's Chris LaRue. 1-1. Bo Bichette leads off. Bottom of the ninth. Andres Munoz fires for Seattle and misses down and in. 1-0. Bichette, Justin Turner, and Cavan Biggio. 3, 4, 5 in the Blue Jay order. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike one. If the Blue Jays win this game now or in extras, it will be a walk-off. Last walk-off for Toronto came on September 17th over the Red Sox. The 1-1. Ground ball to second. Picked up by Polanco. He'll throw over to first. 1 out. In that game, it was a Matt Chapman walk-off triple after Cavan Biggio had singled to get on. Blue Jays actually walked off the Red Sox 2 days in a row in that series. Justin Turner was on the other side then. He's now in a Blue Jays uniform and batting here with 1 out and the bases empty. The pitch. High ball 1. Biggio on deck. Turner 1 for 3 today with a single in the 7th. 1-0. High ball 2.
Munoz is all over the place.
He's recorded 2 outs and 2 batters faced, but some big misses upstairs, some big misses down low. He is the closer, though, for Seattle. The 2-0. Turner with a liner to left. Base hit. Canzone runs it down in the corner. Justin Turner on first base, and the Blue Jays have the winning run on the base paths right now. It's going to be a pinch runner here. Davis Schneider is going to pinch run for Turner. This is twofold. Schneider runs better than Turner does, and they put in a guy that maybe they'll want to hit in extras should they get there.
Yeah, this is a move that has to be done. Obviously, Justin Turner doesn't run like he used to, but what a swing from Justin Turner. He just waits for his pitch every at-bat, and he never misses it, at least rarely misses it.
So Davis Schneider on first, taking a lead. Cavan Biggio to the plate, 1 for 3. With 1 out and a runner on first, the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Raleigh. He has taken a beating today, but he's done it well, 1-0.
Well, he's got an off day tomorrow, so.
He does. Caught all 3 games of the series.
Rest that body. You and Alejandro Kirk, my friend.
Biggio kicks his barrel with his right foot, gets back into the box. Right on left offering. Swing and a miss. Over top of that slider, 1-1. Cavan Biggio with 2 doubles and a homer this year in his 10 hits. Batting .294. The pitch bounced and another block. That one hit Biggio. Struck him in the foot. That'll move the winning run into scoring position as Davis Schneider strides into second. Biggio aboard for the second time today.
And the Mariners are looking at this one, but Cavan Biggio is so good at just not moving that back foot on those sliders, and I don't know if that hit his foot.
I don't know if that hit him either. Pete Woodworth out to the mound right now.
I don't think you can overturn that, though, because it might have got him, it might not have.
It is a reviewable play, but like you're saying, it was so close.
And even if it hits the shoelace, it's still...
For sure, if it hits anything.
And hit.
If it flicks off a piece of jersey that's hanging out in front of you, it's a hit batter. They're not going to challenge. So the Blue Jays potentially a single away from winning this game. 1 out, first and second, bottom of the ninth. Schneider on second, Biggio on first. Alejandro Kirk at the plate. 7 RBIs this year for Kirk. He hasn't come up with a ton of hits so far, but they've all been in big spots. First pitch from Munoz. Called strike one, 99 at the knees.
Kirk didn't like that call, kind of stretching his back, letting the umpire know ball's a little bit down.
Alejandro never exits the box, though. Back and ready for the 0-1. Hit foul off the handle to the right side, 0-2.
Ty France is almost halfway between first and second. The Seattle Mariners first baseman, Jorge Polanco, is almost directly behind second base. Kirk is very good at going down the right field line. There's a lot of room between France and the first base line.
The 0-2. High, ball one. Schneider with a big jump off second for his secondary lead. Now we'll go back to the bag. Looks like the Blue Jays are thinking about a pinch hit or two as Daniel Vogelback is moving around in the Blue Jay dugout. Kevin Kiermaier stands on deck for now. First and second, one out. 1-1, bottom nine. The 1-2. Line drive to right field. Hangs up. Caught by Haniger. Schneider has to race back to second. He started going on contact. He gets back in time. That was a well-hit ball by Kirk, but just found the wrong spot. 2 down.
Yeah, Kirk had the right idea there, trying to go the other way. There were a lot of holes on that right side. He kind of just gets it a little bit elevated. And here comes Vogelbach.
Pinch hitting for Kevin Kiermaier. Daniel Vogelback comes off the bench. First at-bat he's had at Rogers Center this season. Can he endear himself to the fans in a big way in his second stint with the Blue Jays?
And this is why he was signed, for situations like this, late in ball games, big runs on base, and here we go, buddy.
Vogie in the box. Biggio on first. Schneider on second. 2 outs. 1-1 game, bottom of the ninth. The pitch. Down and in, ball one.
I like that take. Really confident. That was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and Bogey took it like it was a softball.
Vogelback has consistently succeeded against right-handed pitching in his career. The 1-0. High ball 2. An .813 on base plus slugging for Vogelback against right-handed pitchers in his career. The 2-0. Breaking ball drops in, strike one.
Good take. That's not the pitch he wants. It was a slider right down the middle, but he doesn't want to hit that slider. He wants to hit a fastball.
Runners will be off on contact. Schneider's got some speed out at second. He could score on any single to the outfield. The 2-1. Outside, ball 3.
4 really good takes. He's obviously seeing the ball very well out of Munoz's hand.
Vogelback, a big on-base guy. 3-1 count. Ernie Clement on deck. The pitch from Munoz. Low ball 4. Vogelback walks, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth.
That was an impressive AB from Vogelbach. Here comes Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to pinch run for Bogey. That was a great AB. Took a lot of tough pitches.
This was always going to be the move. Even if the game continued, they put IKF into play center field.
And like we said, Munoz is all over the place. Ernie Clement doesn't have to swing here. He has to wait for him to throw a strike. Wait for Munoz to come to him.
Bases loaded, 1-1. Bottom of the ninth, the pitch. Fastball for strike one. Clement was the hero for the Blue Jays in their lone win in New York with a 7th-inning homer to take the lead. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, expands on a slider. 0-2. Schneider on third, Biggio on second, and IKF on first. 1-1, 2 strikes and 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Schneider dancing at third. The 2-strike pitch. Line drive, right field, sinking, and caught on the run by the second baseman, Polanco. Near bloop single there to win the game for Clement. Instead, free baseball in Toronto. We'll head to the 10th. Tim Meza on the mound when we return. 1-1 game. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Everyone dreams of owning their own personal slice of heaven. Now you can, thanks to Fixed Rate Pizza by Pizza Pizza. Until the end of 2024, lock into an extra-large 4-topping pizza at a fixed price of $17.99. No matter how bad food prices get this year, your pizza price stays. So why not say no to surge pricing and yes to fixed-rate pizza? Order now from Pizza Pizza.
Order pizzapizza.ca. Truck.ca. So when you gotta move, all moving day. Think 2-man truck.ca. Cause all of us movers are not the same. So that's our company name, 2 Men in a Truck.ca. We're lots of men with lots of trucks. So give us a call today.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone. Third home run in 4 batters for the Blue Jays.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Alley with you at Baseball Control. Jays Mariners still tied at 1 as we head to extras. Top of the 10th inning incoming at the Rogers Center. Quick check of the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard in the NHL. 3 games on the go tonight. Blackhawks at Blues, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Golden Knights at Oilers. That's 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. That'll be on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 1 at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. We'll get the Canucks back in action. They'll take on the Coyotes at Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Watch it on Sportsnet Pacific. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays Mariners tied at 1 as we head to extras. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue with the call of the game.
Thank you very much, Joe. 1-1 game, Blue Jays and Mariners. New pitcher in for Toronto. The left-hander Tim Meza makes his 7th appearance of the season. Will face Cal Raleigh, Dylan Moore, and Dominic Canzone, a switch hitter, a right-handed hitter, and a left-handed hitter here in the top of the 10th. Ghost runner on second base, and we're ready to go. It's Mitch Garver out at second. Raleigh batting from the right side. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air to right. Springer going back. He's at the track, at the wall. Gone. First pitch of the 10th sent into the bullpen. Cal Raleigh's second home run of the series. 3-1 Mariners.
Yeah, Tim Meza just throws that fastball right down the middle, and Cal Raleigh drops the barrel, and he's got a ton of power. Sometimes you have to be careful with Cal Raleigh. I know he's not swinging the bat that well right now, but he's always going to have that power.
Raleigh, a Blue Jay killer again. It was Luke Raley out there running for Mitch Garver. He comes in to score on the homer. 3-1. Pitch to Dylan Moore. Called strike 1. Blue Jays had the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 9th inning. A near miss at a hit by Ernie Clement is why we're here, and immediately Raleigh makes them pay. 0-1. More swings and misses. 0-2. Only the 8th home run that Raleigh has hit from the right side in his career. Oh, 2 to Moore. High and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. But for Cal Raleigh, it's his 9th homer in 15 games against the Blue Jays in his career. 1-2. Downstairs, 2-2. And that does not include the 2-run homer he hit in Game 1 of the 2022 AL Wildcard Series. Meza delivers to Moore, who lifts the ball to shallow center. Varsho, who took over in center field, runs in, makes the catch. That'll be 1 out.
Yeah, but like you said during the first game of this series, Cal Raleigh loves playing against the Toronto Blue Jays.
For the Blue Jays, by the way, some defensive switches. Dalton Varsho in center. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is now the second baseman. Pitch to left-handed hitting Dominic Canzone. Called strike 1. They've pulled the DH into the field as Davis Schneider came in for the first baseman, Justin Turner. He's in left, and Kevin Biggio is now at first. Next pitch bounced, 1-1 against Canzone, 1 out, 10th inning, top half of the 10th. It's 3-1 for the Mariners. Left on left pitch. Called outside, 2-1. It's gotten very quiet here at Rogers Center after the Blue Jays just barely missed out on a walk-off. The 2-1. Called strike 2-2. The Blue Jays can keep it here at 3-1, though. They have a chance. They're one big swing from bringing it back, and it looks like Andres Munoz won't pitch the next inning. 2-2 from Meza is low, 3-2. The right-hander getting loose right now in the Seattle pen. 3-2 to Canzone. Fouled back over the screen.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Blue Jays, it's Ryan Stanek, another really hard-throwing, tough right-handed pitcher out there.
First, though, they have to get to the bottom of the 10th. 1 out, base is empty. Payoff in the dirt ball 4. A walk to Canzone, and J.P. Crawford coming up, another left-handed hitter for the Southpaw Meza to face. He points back to Bo Bichette to make sure they have their double play coverages in order. And here's Crawford. 1 for 4 with a single, knocked in the first run of the game. Meza delivers home and misses low, 1-0. 3-1 Mariners, runner on first, 1 out. Most of the fans sticking around, but a murmur amongst the crowd right now. 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. Blue Jays have won the first 2 games of this series. 7th inning homer from Vladdy helped them tie it up and bring them to extras where they're looking for the sweep but trailing 3-1. 2-0. Down and away, 3-0. Mitch White getting loose for Toronto right now. Tim Meza facing his 4th batter of the appearance. 3-0 pitch. Inside ball 4. Back-to-back walks. That one a 4-pitch walk to Crawford. And I don't know that Meza gets much longer. Here comes John Schneider out of the dugout. Pitching changes. Mitch White is going to come in. Let's go back to our host today. 3-1 game. First and second, 1 out. Top of the 10th. Here's Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, one more reminder that Blair and Barker have Jays Talk today on both TV and radio. They will take your phone calls after the final out. You can leave them a message right now via the back leg line, 416-413-3959. Please leave your name and location, or you can certainly text them at 590-590. Name and location on the People's Text line as well. All right, let's check out that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. In the NHL, 3 games on the go tonight. Blackhawks at Blues. That goes in about 2.5 hours. In about 3 hours, Golden Knights at Oilers, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. You can watch that on Sportsnet 1, and 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. The Canucks back in action. They'll take on the Coyotes at Rogers Arena in Vancouver. You can watch it on Sportsnet Pacific. Speaking of the Yotes, also coming out of the NHL today, more developments on the Coyotes home arena saga. The league, the team, and the Smith Entertainment Group making significant process to potentially relocate the team to Salt Lake City in Utah. A number of insiders, including Elliot Friedman, reporting a memo was sent out to the Board of Governors today. So the deal is not yet done. ESPN's Greg Wyshynski also reporting if the deal does happen, the Coyotes owner could sell the team to the league for $1 billion, and the league would then sell the Coyotes to Utah Jazz owner Ryan Smith for $1.3 billion. The extra $300 million would be split amongst the remaining owners. Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? Blue Jays baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Let's get you back to the action down at the Rogers Center. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. Blue Jays turning to Mitch White here in the top of the 10th inning, trying to keep the deficit at just 2. Cal Raleigh's first pitch homer in the 10th has it at 3-1 Mariners. Back-to-back walks issued by Tim Meza have set up the Mariners with first and second, and still only 1 out Tough test here for Mitch White. Julio Rodriguez leads off. Ty France behind him. The right-hander White takes a breath, gets set just above the belt. Looking at second, kicks and fires home. First pitch breaking ball has Rodriguez ducking out of the way, 1-0. If the Blue Jays can keep it at a 2-run deficit, one big swing can get them back in the game. But the Mariners still threatening. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good sweeper by White. Lands on the outside corner at the bottom of the zone. 1-1.
In Mitch White's last game, it was against the New York Yankees, so obviously Mitch White is used to facing those big right-handed hitters.
He rocks back and delivers. Breaking ball inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Third appearance of the season for White, who's typically been in longer relief spots. The 2-1. Grounded foul down the left field line, 2-2.
Really good pitch right there. Sinker down and in at 94. When he was facing Aaron Judge, when he was facing Giancarlo Stanton in his last outing, he really located that ball well, and no difference there.
Infield at double play depth. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got Rodriguez on a sweeper. 2 outs.
Yeah, that was a backup sweeper. We talked about that earlier today. Those pitches are so hard to hit. I'm sure if you ask Julio Rodriguez after this ball game, he'll probably tell you that he should have driven that ball 500 feet. But in the moment, those are very hard to hit.
He tried to drive that ball 500 feet. Fell forward after the swing. His 4th strikeout of the day, ends 1 for 5, most likely. Ty France up. First and second, 2 outs, 3-1 Mariners, top of 10. The pitch fouled off into the netting. 0-1. Canzone on second, Crawford on first. A 2-run shot by Cal Raleigh, the difference in this 3-1 game. France 0 for 4 today. Has hit 2 balls hard, though. The 0-1. Driven to left field. On the run, Schneider. It's over his head and bouncing off the wall. In to score easily, Canzone. They'll hold up Crawford at third. It's a 2-out double for Ty France, and now a 4-1 Mariners lead. And that starts to make things a little bit more difficult for the Blue Jays, as they'll now require more than just a big swing to tie up this game when they get to hit.
Yeah, Mitch White struck out Julio Rodriguez on that backup slider. He throws another one there, and Ty France did not miss it.
The pitch to Mitch Haniger with 2 outs and runners on second and third. Breaking ball drops in, strike 1. That the overhand curve from Mitch White. That run-in owed to Tim Meza. Runner on third is Meza's responsibility as well. France on second belongs to White. Here's 0-1. Hit off the end of the bat, a liner into center field, a base hit. Crawford in to score. France gets the wave. He'll score. And this game has been blown open. It's 6-1 Mariners off a 5-run top of the 10th. We actually haven't seen it much this year, but the Blue Jays in this game starting to get slightly exposed on the lack of relievers with their 2 highest leverage guys out right now. They've given up 5 runs here in the 10th. Still a runner on first, 2 outs, and the first pitch is fouled off by Jorge Polanco, 0-1.
Yeah, it is glaring now that they're missing Swanson, that they're missing Romano. Those are 2 guys that would have been in this ball game already, along with Jimmy Garcia, along with Chad Green, who is probably down today.
Green with 20 pitches on back-to-back days, the first 2 of this series. 0-1, hit foul again, 0-2.
Although Tim Meza was a guy last year, you can't say that he's not a guy this year. He's just noticeably his fastball is probably 2 or 3 miles an hour slower this year than it was last year.
0-2 pitch. High, ball 1. Yeah, I think they have him in leverage, but I do think that, more than likely maybe Jimmy Garcia's pitching now instead of before, or Eric Swanson's pitching now. Brian Mays had a turnaround Raleigh, but he gave up a home run. First 2 runs of 5 this inning for the Mariners. Next pitch to Polanco. Called strike 3, and that's the inning. White with 2 strikeouts, but a double and a single, part of a 5-run inning for the Mariners. 6-1. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th with the Blue Jays looking to pull off a miracle. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
When you have an iconic look like Danny Jansen, picking new glasses can be tough.
Too big, too small, too cool, too much, too 90s, too futuristic. I think I'm just going to stick with the originals. These are working just fine.
He is really seeing the ball well. Your friends will do a double take when they see you in your Danny Jansen new blue replica jersey and glasses.
And he's got some style.
On Monday, April 29th, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Jano bundle. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Varsho smashes the ball to right field. It's gone!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you at Baseball Control. I'm in our downtown Toronto studios as the Jays trail the Mariners 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning at the Rogers Center. One more reminder that Blair and Barker have Jays Talk today. They are on TV and radio. They will take your phone calls after the final out via the back leg line. You can leave them a message, 416-413-3959. Please leave your name and location, or you can certainly text them as well, 590-590, name and location also. Blue Jays Baseball is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. Jays trail 6-1 in the bottom of the 10th inning. Here's Ben Shulman and Chris LaRue down at the Rogers Center.
Very much so. The Blue Jays trying to mount a big comeback against a hard-throwing right-hander. Long-haired Ryan Stanek is on the mound, pitching for the second straight day. He's the typical setup man for Seattle, but after Andres Munoz was already used, they'll ask him to close this one out. First pitch goes to Dalton Varsho with Ernie Clement on second. It's a called strike, looked off the plate inside, 0-1. Varsho, Springer, Guerrero due up this inning. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. In yesterday's game, Stanek threw 2/3 of an inning, scoreless, walked one and hit one. Next pitch is fouled off. 2-1. Or, pardon me, 1-2. (6-1) Mariners. Clement taking his lead at second, not really held on by J.P. Crawford. They're worried about the guy at the plate. 1-2. Bounced way in front of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First year with Seattle for Stanek, coming over from AL West foe Houston, signing a 1-year, $4 million deal. He's on the first base side of the rubber, dealing against the lefty. Looks out at second. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Put 100 right over the heart of the plate, and it beats Varsho for the first out.
That was a really good job from Stanek. A quick pitch, kind of didn't really pick his leg up off that mound, and he just blows 100 right by Dalton Varsho. Really, really good pitch right there.
So 1 out now. Here's the top of the order. George Springer. Blue Jays need base runners, down 6-1 with a runner on second. Bottom 10, the pitch. Fouled back, 0-1. Springer 0 for 3 with a walk. Walked, and the Blue Jays had a chance to take the lead, first and second in the 8th, but Guerrero flied out. 0-1. Hit foul way behind 100, and it's 0-2.
Good downward action on that fastball. That's a tough pitch to hit. 100 miles an hour down in the zone.
Springer stepping back in after that foul ball. Big chance for the Blue Jays was in the 9th. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And they did not score. 0-2. High, ball 1. Had first and second with 1 out. Alejandro Kirk hit a ball really hard to right, but it hung up. That probably would have scored the winning run. And then after a pinch hit walk by Daniel Vogelbach, Ernie Clement nearly blooped one into right center, but an over-the-shoulder catch by Jorge Polanco sent us to extras. Now 6-1 Seattle. Next pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. No, fouled off, pardon me. Just a slight tip by George Springer. Cal Raleigh asking if that's a reviewable play, pointing to his dugout. That is not a reviewable play. So Springer stays alive. Taps the plate, taps his front left foot, and gets ready for the 1-2. Here it comes from Brian Stanek. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Beaten by a 90-mile-per-hour splitter. 2 down. Here comes Vladdy.
That was a very tough AB. A couple of 100-mile-an-hour fastballs up in the zone. And then that really good splitter from Ryan Stanek. That is just a nasty pitch right there.
Guerrero in the box, 1 for 4 today. Responsible for the one Blue Jays run, a homer in the 7th. Runner on second. 2 down the pitch. Called strike. Off the plate outside, but called a strike by Ben May, 0-1. Zone has gotten pretty big here in the bottom of the 10th. Blue Jays down to their final out. Guerrero in a slightly open stance. Here's the 0-1. Inside, nearly hit Vladdy with the splitter, 1-1. Vladdy got the near 23,000 on their feet today with his homer. Blue Jays will need a string of hits here, though, in the 6-1 game. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1.
And Vlad can't get too big here in this count. This is a fastball count, but I wouldn't be surprised if Stanek flips in a splitter here just to throw Vlad off.
I mean, he's got room to work with even if you were to walk Guerrero. He doesn't have to go after him in this 6-1 ball game, bottom 10. 2 outs, runner on second. And the 2-1. Bounce to the plate. It was that splitter or no, the slider. 3-1.
Something off speed.
And again, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws something out of the zone. If he walks Guerrero, then the Blue Jays would have the tying run in the hole.
Yeah, then you just face Bo Bichette with a clean count.
3-1 pitch. Fouled back. Did challenge him with 100. Kind of middle out. 3-2.
Although if I threw 100, I would challenge him too.
I mean, also if you give up the home run, you're still up 3. So it's not like there's a huge downside either way. 6-1 Mariners, bottom 10. Runner on second, full count, 2 outs. Stanek rocks back and fires. Outside, ball 4. Guerrero with a walk. The Blue Jays stay alive here. Here comes Bo Bichette.
Yeah, Stanek obviously disgusted with that pitch. That was nowhere near the zone. He's kind of talking to himself, looking up at the sky. Now Bo's job is to just get on base, keep that line moving.
6-1 Mariners, first and second, 2 down. Tying runs in the hole. Bichette up now, Schneider due up next. It would be Kevin Biggio who represents the tying run. First pitch to Bo. Looper to left field. On the run can zone, reaches up, makes the catch, and ends the game. A 6-1 win for the Mariners. They post a huge top of the 10th inning and avoid the sweep, beating the Blue Jays in Game 3 of the series.
Well, that was a disappointing top of the 10th, obviously. But let's not forget how well this that Yusei Kikuchi pitched in this ball game, he was almost unhittable. His fastball had a lot of life to it, mid-90s, down in the zone. That's how he needs to throw. If he's going to be a 2 or even a 1 on this team, he has one stuff. He's one of the hardest throwing left-handed starters in all of Major League Baseball. If he can locate that pitch and then flip the breaking balls in there whenever he wants, he'll be unhittable.
Yusei Kikuchi really good today, but the Blue Jays can't come up with the big hit in the 8th and 9th, and then a massive rally from Seattle in the 10th. Wins it for the Mariners. 6-1 the final. We'll wrap this one up on the other side and then send you off to Blair and Barker for Blue Jays Talk. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
We're 2 men in a truck, the movers who care. You never know when cardiac arrest can happen. That's why each and every one of our trucks carries a life-saving Mikey defibrillator as part of our Mikey on Board program. Whether we're on the highway or in front of your house, we're prepared to help anyone whose heart may skip a beat. The Mikey Network has saved many lives, making Mikeys accessible to the public. And now they're on board our trucks. We're 2 men in a truck.
2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep. Because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hey, this is Tim Meza. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Blue Jays fall 6-1 to the Seattle Mariners in the series finale in 10 innings. A closer game than the scoreline would suggest, but Toronto unable to complete a sweep in its first series back at home, falls 1 game below 500 here before a day off. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. A lot to talk about in this game. Chris, you mentioned it as we finished up. Both starting pitchers really good today. Yusei Kikuchi, really his only mistakes, 2 leadoff walks. One of them got punished by J.P. Crawford, who singled in the leadoff walk of Dylan Moore. But he struck out 9 today, went 6 innings on fewer than 90 pitches. Really strong day today for Kikuchi.
Well, he's been that guy not only this season, but for the better part of 2023 as well. 6 innings, 9 Ks, only 3 hits. His fastball was almost unhittable today. Even that RBI single by J.P. Crawford, that was a really good fastball on the inside part of the plate, right at J.P. Crawford's hands. It jammed him, and he kind of just dumped it over the second baseman. But I love watching Yusei Kikuchi. He's learning how to pitch. He's growing right in front of our eyes. And the best part about him is he's locating his fastball now. I can't stress that enough. If he's locating his fastball, Yusei Kikuchi will dominate lineups.
He was really, really good today. So was the guy on the other side, Chris. Logan Gilbert was even better probably than Kikuchi. He went 7 2/3 innings. 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 Ks. That walk was the last batter that he ended up facing. Really, until that 7th inning big home run by Guerrero, the Blue Jays had nothing going on against Gilbert.
Yeah, this offense was really quiet all night. I think Logan Gilbert was exactly as advertised. Hard thrower, lots of command. I really enjoyed this matchup today. Both starters had command of their fastball, which is... As any pitcher, reliever or starter, if you can command your fastball to all 4 quadrants, just like the 2 starters did today, everything else is better. Yusei Kikuchi, his curveball, his slider is better, and Logan Gilbert, his split was really, really effective today because that he was really using the elevated fastball well, and then he would throw that slider, that split finger down, and essentially became unhittable. Until Vlad hit that home run, he was unhittable all day long.
Vlad, though, did look pretty good today. Even before the home run, scorched a line drive to right field in the 4th. that just was hit to the wrong spot. He came up in the 7th inning, got a hanging slider, and maybe put together, I don't want to say best swing of the season because he hit a ball 450 feet, but he hit that one 459 feet. I mean, that was a huge home run. It might have been his best swing of the year. Really nice from Guerrero.
Well, I don't know if it was his best swing, but it was his prettiest for sure. I saw that replay in slow motion, and I think if you can bottle that up and he can swing like that for the rest of the season, he'll do damage. He was on time. It was I believe it was a backup breaking ball, backup slider, and he just barreled that thing up. Just a perfect execution. Probably he was looking slider, I would assume, just how on time he was. And, I mean, Vlad looks better. He's using the big part of the field. We saw that he lined out to right center earlier in the game. He looks better. He's taking better swings. His approach looks better. Obviously, that home run was incredible, a 450-foot shot to left center. But I like the direction he's going in. He's using the big part of the field, and I think that that's the most important thing for him. Don't pull off that ball. Use the big part of the field.
3rd home run of the season for Guerrero. Blue Jays had 1st and 2nd in the 8th inning of a 1-1 game. Could not score there. Guerrero got under a ball and flied out to center, and then really maybe a foot or two away from winning the game in the 9th after Justin Turner came up with his 2nd hit of the day. Kevin Biggio hit by a pitch. Kirk nearly won the game on a liner to right that hung up a little bit. And then Daniel Vogelback came in for a pinch hit walk, loaded the bases, and Ernie Clement just a little bit under it. That should not underscore, though, the 2 masterful innings from Jimmy Garcia out of the pen, 2 innings, 4 strikeouts, retired all 6 guys he faced. That sent the Blue Jays and Mariners to the 10th inning, and that brings us to the play of the game. It's coming on the Mariners side. Tim Meza came into the game, so they flipped around Cal Raleigh from his stronger left-handed hitting side to his, I guess you would say, less strong right-handed hitting side. And here was the first pitch at the top of the 10th. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air to right. Springer going back. He's at the track, at the wall, gone. First pitch of the 10th sent into the bullpen. Cal Raleigh's 2nd home run of the series. 3-1 Mariners.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh loves playing against the Toronto Blue Jays, but we've seen Tim Meza a few times this year, and it seems to me like his fastball command, his fastball velocity are a tick down, and he threw that fastball there to Cal Raleigh, middle, and Cal Raleigh obviously can hit a middle fastball at 91 miles an hour. Last year, if Tim Meza was midseason form, 93, 95 maybe, that might have gotten past Cal Raleigh, or he might have popped it up. But at 91 miles an hour in a big spot like that, the go-ahead run standing on second base, you have to either locate that better or you have to flip in something other than a fastball.
9th career homer against the Blue Jays for Cal Raleigh. 10th if you count the postseason. More home runs against Toronto than any other team in his career, and he wasn't going to leave Rogers Center without making a bit of a mark. That gave the Mariners a 3-1 lead, although really the nail in the coffin was the add-on runs. They'd add on 3 more in that 5th. A double from Ty France, scoring 1 and setting up 2nd and 3rd when Mitch Haniger singled in a pair to make it 6-1. Guerrero walked in the 10th with 2 outs. That was all the Blue Jays put up there. They lose the game 6-1, 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 6 left on for Seattle. The Blue Jays with 1 run on 6 hits, no errors, 9 left on, did not come up with a hit with runners in scoring position. Andres Munoz gets the win in relief. Tim Meza with the loss, 23,000 on hand for a game that took 2 hours and 40 minutes inside Rogers Center. The Blue Jays do win the series, but really looked like they had a chance to sweep there, and that goes awry. They're now 6-7, and the Mariners move to 5-8. Toronto takes a day off. We'll be back on Friday, 7 o'clock. It's the Blue Jays and the Colorado Rockies. Hope you can tune in to that game then. That'll start a 3-game set against the Rockies before the New York Yankees come to town. Really appreciate you tuning in on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm Ben Schulman for my partner Chris LaRue, our technical directors Derek Brandeo and Tom Young, and Show Ali, our host and producer. Appreciate once again you sticking around. Keep sticking around on the Sportsnet Radio Network because our coverage is not done. Hope you have a good night and hope you get your calls in. Jays Talk with Blair and Barker starts right now.
All right, Kevin Barker, so much for the sweep. The Toronto Blue Jays losing 6-1 in extra innings to the Seattle Mariners. It is Blue Jays Talk. Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker on Sportsnet 590, The Fan Radio Network, and soon to be joined by our friends on Sportsnet Television. The back leg line, she is open, 416-413-3959. That is your opportunity to leave us questions, comments. We will get to them. The text line is 590-590. Same thing. Send us texts about the game. We'll get to them. Name and location, please. Kevin, I would imagine that several of the texts, and I'm willing to guess some of the calls, will be about how John Schneider managed the 10th inning, the extra inning. 5 runs for the Mariners in that inning, a 5-run 10th, double, a home run from Cal Raleigh. Of course, Cal Raleigh is going to hit a home run because he does that. He does that at the Rogers Center. Mm-hmm. So let's walk through this. Score is tied. Game is tied 1-1. Go to extra innings. Of course, the ghost runner's on second. Tim Meza in against Cal Raleigh. Now, walk us through the decision-making process. First of all, let's just say that Jordan Romano and Eric Swanson can't get here soon enough. But walk us through the decision-making process here. Why Tim Meza, who has been scuffling this year?
Well, I mean, really, I think you only have 2 choices. Well, you would probably have 3. You'd have Mitch White, Cabrera, or Meza.
Right.
I think you got
Trevor Richards and Chad Green not available today.
Well, it seemed that way, right?
They never got up. They didn't even get up.
Trevor Richards pitched back-to-back days, throwing 23 and 25 pitches. Yeah, Chad Green pitched a couple of days in a row. Like, you're not probably going to pitch either one of those. And again, it's 2 lefties. It's a switch hitter, a lefty, and a righty. I think what they're trying to do because of Raleigh basically is having some issues with a left-handed pitcher. You want to flip him around because he's 0-5 on the season. Just so happen it was a good pitch. It's down and away. Just the difference with Tim Meza right now is the velocity.
When we've talked about that, and hello to our friends, by the way, on Sportsnet. It is Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. Please continue.
Yeah, it is the velocity, right? At 91 miles an hour, what a good hitter can do is catch that out front. If it's 94 with some movement to it, it's very hard to do that. That's a foul ball or that's a rollover to the shortstop. Shortstop rollover is 94. 91, I can get that out front. I can get to my bigger finish, and I can get that ball in the air. And because Raleigh is big and strong, he doesn't have to hit it too hard to have it leave the yard. It was the right move. It just so happens right now that Tim Meza is not the Tim Meza that everybody wants to see, right? And, sooner than later in some of these situations, you're going to have to go to guys that sometimes you don't really want to go to because just right now one guy's trying to figure it out. And just so happens, I think that right now a better hitter is beating a guy who is having trouble finding some of his velocity.
Right, and let's... for people who don't know yet, let's be clear that Jordan Romano and Eric Swanson are in AAA. They're expected to pitch tomorrow. Indications are that one or both of them will be here for the Yankee series, which starts on Monday, a 3-game series. The Jays have tomorrow off, and then they've got Colorado for 3. So as my friend Mr. Barker said, if you're John Schneider, you don't have Trevor Richards, and we'll wait. This is what we're assuming. Trevor Richards threw 23 pitches yesterday. So, Trevor Richards, you've had Chad Green a couple of days. And, let's be clear, Chad Green is not money in the bank right now. You've used Jimmy Garcia, who we got to talk about. We could do a whole freaking show on Jimmy Garcia. You've already used him. So basically your decision was Mitch White, who'd been up earlier, or one of the 2 lefties because you wanted to turn Cal Raleigh around. It was either Genesis Cabrera or Tim Meza, both of whom pitched on the 7th.
Yep.
I'm not given the choice between Cabrera and Meza. Cabrera hasn't shown me enough this year that I would definitely say I got to go to him over Tim Meza. So, yeah, and I'm with you. the location of the pitch was fine. It was just it was 91, not 94.
Yeah. I think right now with the two lefties down there, you're trying to hopefully pick the right one on the right day. I mean, that's sort of what you're doing, right? And you're hoping that Tim will come in and he'll have the extra gear. And for whatever reason, he hasn't had that. I'm sure they'll address that. I mean, that's something now. I think there's a big enough sample size that you need to figure out what the deal is with that. And, if you need to give him a couple of days, you need to give him a couple of days. And hopefully they're going to have reinforcements soon. I mean, they need that, right? It's just sometimes you're going to run into a team that has a good pitcher that day, and you're going to need everybody to do their part. And just so happens in that one inning that didn't happen.
Well, up until that inning, it was quite a pitcher's duel. Again, the Jays losing 6-1 to the Seattle Mariners. They have taken 2 of 3 in this series against the Mariners. They have a day off tomorrow. Colorado's in town for 3 games. They are 6-7. But Kevin, up to that point, Yusei Kikuchi, much more efficient than we've seen of being in the past. Logan Gilbert, I mean, filthy. That's the only way to describe it. Vladdy Jr., a big home run to left field. And this will kind of get lost in as a result of the bullpen implosion. But let's also be clear, the Jays had a chance to win this game in the 9th inning.
Yeah, I mean,
and they didn't come through.
I mean, it ain't like it was, me or you throwing. It was Munoz who throws 99 to 100 with tons of movement.
I mean, they had the bases loaded. Now, Ernie Clement.
It was obvious that 4 or 5 hitters had the same approach. They were looking for spin. Like that. That's what you do against them, right? He giving up 1 hit in like 3 2/3 coming into the day. That was a homer on the slider. You could tell the approach was, right? Even the Vladdy, I think the 2-0 pitch was down and away. If you're sitting spin, a lot of the times it's not always a strike you're swinging at because you see the spin and you're looking for spin. You're probably going to chase that and swing at it. I mean, that's a decent approach. Guy that throws that hard and has that much movement. I mean, it's almost impossible to time that thing up. You're just hoping that maybe he'll hang a slider, you'll catch it out front and backspin it. And sometimes you're living and dying with that. And just so happens, the Kirky at bat was really good. The Clement at bat was really good, right? He took the heater down the middle because he's sitting spin.
And it was a hell of a play by Polanco as well. It was a really good play running back into right field.
Absolutely.
To make the catch.
So, again, it's a game of inches. This is what it's all about. And just so happens it didn't work out today. It's really hard to sweep a team. No matter where you're at, the teams are going to make the right plays when they have to. And you mentioned this, I think, on our show, that a lot of things have to go right 3 games in a row, and that's hard to do.
Well, not only that, you are facing again. This is now Luis Castillo and George Kirby aren't where they're going to be in another week or two. They'll be much better. But looking at the schedule, I was looking at this a week ago and saying this is the 3 best consecutive starting pitchers they're going to have seen early in the year. And those 3 guys, they won. They took 2 of the 3 games, and it's very hard to sweep a team when they're running out. Those 3 starting pitchers. The text line is 590-590, 416-413-3959 is the back leg line. Name and location, please. We'll get to your calls. We'll get to your texts. Got to talk about Jimmy Garcia. Look, when Jordan Romano comes back, he's the closer. But Kevin, 99, 98, 100. This is not, hopefully Jimmy Garcia stays healthy because this isn't sudden. We saw this velocity spike in spring training. Like, he's showing up this year, and we've kind of wondered, okay, who would be the guy to close out games on the day Jordan Romano isn't available? Well, I think we got our answer right now, man.
Yeah, well, we knew he had a bunch of pitches. We knew he had a bunch of movement. We knew he had a bunch of velocity. We didn't know he could mesh all 3 together. And I think that's sort of what you're seeing now, right, is he can throw a fastball to a fastball hitter and a fastball count.
This guy has a starter's repertoire.
Yeah,
Buck made an interesting point.
Second time through, I mean, if he's got to face a guy 2 times, maybe the success rate would go up. It's just he can stuff people to death now because of the velocity and the movement on the fastball. It's moving all over the place. I mean, it's running. It looks to me like he's lowered the arm slot. He was a little bit higher last year. Now he's a little bit lower, which will create that little bit more run into a righty away to a lefty, and you're adding the 98, 99 to it, and now he can sprinkle in a couple of different breaking stuff that he has, and when he's got that and he's feeling confident and he's getting ahead of guys, no matter if you're lefty or righty, it's not going to be the easiest at bat. He's uncomfortable, and his takes are a lot tougher now, right? It's when he struggles and you can sort of take the the fastball that's somewhat non-competitive, and you can look for a secondary pitch because sometimes he's married to the secondary stuff. And now that he's got the fastball, he's locating it. It's moving all over the place, and the breaking stuff's breaking the way it is. He's almost unhittable. It's just how does he maintain this? And can he? And how much will it help when they get the two dudes back? When they get those two guys back and you can hybrid this guy all over the place at the back end. I mean, he can pitch. We've seen him getting loose in the 6th inning. Like, he can do a bunch of things. He can pitch anywhere from the 6th to the 10th. Like, there's no place you can't throw him. And now you're seeing him because of the movement and the velocity and all the stuff that he can do. They're throwing him in the meat of the order, which is not always the case. So they got something here. It's just how does he maintain that, and hopefully he can, because that stuff right there don't come around all the time.
No, and when you do get Eric Swanson back, too, of course, you've got the splitty, which you can use against lefty.
Absolutely.
Trevor
Richards with the changeup. So you could give Mesa and Cabrera a little bit of a break. You could hide that. Like, you could maneuver that thing around. The bullpen's not going to be the issue, right?
No,
it's
I'm with you. Tonight or today notwithstanding, I'm completely with you. Like, this is, the bullpen will not be an issue for this team.
Yeah, I don't think so. It'll get ironed out. Like, they'll put everybody in the positions that they'll be really good at, and they'll figure those things out. The starting pitching looks like it's starting to, turn around. And Yusei Kikuchi was in the zone more with the fastball. When it's 66% in the zone, that will tell you that the secondary stuff, the slider was much better, the curveball was much better. He can throw those. He started throwing some more change-ups, You don't have to throw all of them. You can throw some of them some of the times because you're locating the fastball. I said this. Got those strike one. He was 16 out of 23. He does that with the velocity on the fastball that he has. He'll give you 6+ like that and give you a chance to win. And that's sort of what the doctor ordered, right?
It is Blue Jays Talk. We are a show for the fans. 590-590, the text number. 416-413-3959 is the back leg line. Leave us a voice note. Jay in Moncton, he had some stuff to say on the text line. I love this. I can't stand Schneider's moves. Why would you not pinch hit Kirk, who's batting 150 with Davis? Instead, you pinch run him for Turner, taking his bat basically out of the game. Kevin, I'll turn it over to you. We did. I wouldn't say we second guessed the decision necessarily. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Anytime Alejandro Kirk comes up, the first thing we do is we say double play. Even if it doesn't happen, the first thing we say is double play. I don't know.
I do. It's the Munoz. It's the elevated fastball. It's the velocity on the fastball. Kirky. His at-bats have been better. He's been decent with runners in scoring position.
Does not like the elevated fastball.
Absolutely not. I mean, look, if Kirky's your everyday catcher in big spots, because he's done a decent job at that so far. I mean, he's not getting a ton of hits, but he's been decent with runners in scoring position. You got to give him an opportunity. I mean, he had a line drive to right. Like, he's your guy. He is one of your guys. Davis Schneider is sometimes one of your guys. So, that, for me, I don't think that's a situation. I mean, you could probably raise your hand about either Tim Mesa or Cabrera in the 10th inning if you're going for a swing and miss, or you're going for weak contact. I mean, which depends on which one you're going for because of what you've seen before. But it's real hard to argue like the pinch running and whether you pinch hit for Kirk or do you have that much faith in Davis Schneider that he's always going to come up against guys that throw that hard, that can elevate fastballs, and
people love them some Davis Schneider. I
like the short little compact swing that Kirky's got in that situation, and I mean all you can do is hit it hard. That's what Kirky did. He hit it hard.
Vogelbach for Kiermaier.
Kiermaier punched out 3 times. I mean, right now he looks like me. I mean that's basically what it comes down to, and you're. Vogelbach's got a decent eye.
Which he showed. He took a walk.
Yeah, he could run into one. I mean, I think that's sort of, when you got a guy that you think could probably give you a better at-bat, put a ball in play on a fastball or on a secondary pitch, and you got Kiermaier right now who is in between a bunch of stuff, right? You can pull the string on him. You can get him out with elevated fastballs. Like right now, he's not the toughest of out. So, I mean, that's a good move, too. I mean, that works out also, right? I think a guy walks, you put pressure on a pitcher to make a pitch to the next guy.
Yeah, I think the other thing, too, given the moves the Jays made in that game, it would appear to me that if you were going to take Kirk out of the game, if you're going to pinch hit Schneider for Kirk, you probably would have had to put Servin in there
in that spot.
Yeah, and it sounds like Servant's had issues with his hand, too.
Exactly.
I don't know how deep that runs. But if he's injured or not, can he still catch and throw? And
there's
some things that are going in that I'm sure we don't know about.
You already knew that you were going to lose one outfielder with Kiermaier. You were going to pinch hit for Kiermaier. So I think there were a bunch of things. That work there with that particular decision. 416-413-3959. That is the back leg line. Daryl from Cambridge.
Mr. Barker, do you ever have a rule where in your lineups and stuff and you're going not to swing at the first pitch, take a strike, get to see the pitcher? I'm tired of going through the first inning and having the pitcher throw 5 pitches. Every game it seems the starting pitcher of the opposing team is throwing 5 pitches because they're swinging at so many first pitches.
Appreciate the call, Daryl. I'll turn it over to you, Mr.
Yeah,
Barker.
I mean, I think that's a fair statement. George Springer, he's a very aggressive hitter. That's why they're trying to, and so is Bo Bichette. That's why they're trying to split those two guys up and put Vladdy in the middle of that. First of all, I don't think Vladdy really realized or even knows how to have an at-bat after a couple of guys get a couple of outs on a couple of pitches. So they're trying to kill a couple of birds with one stone, right? They think Vladdy will see some more pitches, make the pitcher work a little bit earlier in the game, and also have Bo protecting Vladdy. So that's why they've sprinkled up the first 3 guys. To further the caller's point, Logan Gilbert, he's so filthy that you have to be very aggressive. And to his point, first time through the order, he threw 29 pitches. Second time through the order, he threw 32 pitches. Third time through the order, he threw 24 pitches. The plan against him when he is throwing off-speed stuff down and fastballs at 97 away and is locating the fastball the way he is and not missing in the middle of the plate with it, you got to be very aggressive. Like, you got to get in swing mode. I mean, he's a giant dude. We said this on our show, who has the most extension of anybody in baseball as a pitcher, right? 7.8 feet is a lot. It basically looks like when you're hitting that he is just dropping the ball in the catcher's mitt, and that means the ball that looks 97 will look 197. So you got to get it going, and once you get in swing mode and he starts throwing the breaking stuff where he was throwing it and his misses as good as they were on the balls down, it sort of looks like 29, 32, and 24 pitches times through the order. You don't mind that. Like, this is an approach. You got to be married to it. Just so happens Logan Gilbert's filthy. He was nasty today, but I think the first 3 or 4 guys in the order, you got to get used to this. Like, they have a plan when they walk to the plate against a certain guy, and they ain't going to vary from that. Like, they ain't going to self-correct or adjust these things, especially probably the first couple at-bats of a game. So you're going to see some of these, one-pitch outs, especially with the Springers of the world and the Bo Bichettes of the world.
Yeah, and you talked about that on Blair and Barker, about the approach against a guy like Logan Gilbert is to be in swing mode when you go.
Well, you got to get it ready to hit,
talked
right?
about that as well. You exactly, because it's coming at you fast. You got to be ready.
But
to
it's
hit.
those when he starts locating all those pitches and throwing them for strikes and be able to locate the fastball with power.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost virtually impossible to hit, and that's sort of the way it looked today.
It's an old friend of the show, Clifton in Etobicoke.
Yes.
I think part of Vladdy's growth and development has to be a better understanding of situational baseball. Bottom of the 8th, when he was spotted the 2-0 count, I think first and foremost he has to be thinking, work this pitcher for a walk, because Bo is coming up next. And believe me, I'm a Vladdy defender, but I think he has to understand that the risk reward in that situation was much greater because the bases would have been loaded.
I just got to say this as well for those who may be wondering. I've done radio at the Fan for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Clifton's a regular, man.
Yep.
Clifton is the man. It's really good to hear. Really good to hear from Clifton again.
I mean, he's coming off an at-bat where he hit a home run off a slider. He's looking slider off of Munoz. I mean, I think you could tell every guy that walked to the plate were looking for spin. I mean, he'd given up 1 hit on the season in 3 2/3. and it was a homer off a slider. Again, this gets back to that approach. When you facing guys that throw a bazillion with movement, you got to marry to something. You got to go up there looking for an approach. And sometimes when you get in counts and you're sitting on a certain pitch and you see that pitch right out of the guy's hand, like it looked like Vladdy did, you're going to swing at it no matter where it's at. And that's sort of, I think, what happened there was Munoz made a good pitch on the slider. You see it, you swing at it, you get out. It didn't work out. I like that he looks like he's got an approach now. Like if it's spin I'm looking for, I'm sitting spin. I'm gonna live and die by that. If I'm looking in, I'm looking in. It's just consistently we haven't seen that, 1 through 9 or even consistently from Vladdy. I just like that he actually looks like he has an approach because he has talent. If he consistently has an approach, it'll start working out more times than not.
Chris LaRue made this point on the radio broadcast today, and I thought it was something we'd talked about as well. You are a big believer in seeing a guy look hitterish, and I know Buck talks about that as well. And we've seen from Vladdy, I think, in this homestand, we've seen some nice swings. And I'm not just saying the home run. Home run's a great swing. But we saw a couple of nights ago, we were at the game. Remember that? It was a double. It was just so effortless. It was like watching Justin Turner swing the bat. And I get the sense we're seeing that a little more from Vladdy now. Like the Vladdy we saw in this homestand compared to the Vladdy we saw in New York, different guy.
Yeah, I think his takes look better. Again, like I said, I think he looks like he has an approach. I think he looks a little bit better when he gets to 2 strikes. I mean, what's your expectations for Vladdy? I mean, I think that's what it is. Like, what are you looking for his season at the end to look like?
I feel better about him now than I did a week ago.
Yeah,
he looks better to me now than he did a week ago.
I think because of his mechanics and because now he thinks he can get his front foot down and it looks that way, he can hit a line drive to right. And when he's hitting line drives to right, the front side staying in, he's not pulling off and he's not over swinging. I said this to everybody when I came on our show, when I was in spring training, that he didn't look like he was chasing distance. If he doesn't do that, the balls a lot of the time will come off like it did the third pitch of that at bat when he hit the homer.
Didn't see the home run jacket.
I don't think you're going to see it.
Just wondering.
You know what I think?
People ask about it all the time.
I don't think. They think that teams that can't hit homers a lot should have a home run jacket. That's what I think. I'm not going to speak for them. They can speak for themselves. They want to have that conversation out loud.
The Mariners had their Trident.
Yeah, they were down.
I'd like to know how the hell they got that through the border.
I think somebody hit a home run down 5-0, and they were using it. What if the Blue Jays had wearing the jacket down 5-0?
Yeah, I don't know.
On the road? How would that go over?
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, it's a long season, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I mean, it's just me. I think people should get over that.
416-413-3959.
Did I throw fuel on that fire? Maybe.
There's got to be a story there that we haven't heard yet. Because I was told there was a home run jacket.
There is a story.
Okay, I was told that there is physically a home
well, you got that from
jacket.
me because I've seen it.
Okay,
but if they want to speak about the jacket and why they're not wearing it, that's up to them. I got better things to talk about than talking about that jacket.
A good reporter never torches his sources. You got to understand.
I don't have a source.
No, I'm saying with me. That's why I didn't say who told me about the jacket. I was essentially engaging in some high quality, ass covering. But I mean,
you asked me this like 5 days ago, and I told you that I'd seen it already.
Right. Okay,
so
it's out there someplace. It's out there
Who
someplace.
Cares
maybe it'll show up in
hopefully he starts wearing it and he wears it about 45
maybe it'll
more
show
times.
up in a rummage sale or something like that. 416-416.
Trust me.
416-416. Or you may be the only one to see it. 416-413-3959 is the back leg line. It is your chance to leave us a question or comment on today's game. 590-590, the text line. 6-1, the Seattle Mariners have beaten the Toronto Blue Jays. The Jays take 2 of 3 from the Mariners. They are 6-7. They have tomorrow off. And then it's guaranteed win weekend, folks, because the Colorado Rockies are coming into town for 3 games.
Just win series.
Then the New York Yankees come in after them. We're going to take a break and come back, get the more of your calls, more of your texts. We'll see if we can maybe find out some other things from Mr. Barker that he's keeping secret. It's Blue Jays Talk on the Fan Radio Network and Sportsnet.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center, a solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. Visit timbermart.ca.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every